outside of that, though, you know, there was a nice little cross promo. You guys didn't notice that, like, there are certain races that Zoran didn't want to disrupt that AOC endorsed in, and then certain races that AOC didn't want to offend the sensibilities of certain key allies that she has worked with, where Zoran endorsed. In any case, so that was fun. Obviously, there's some new developments as well. Zoran going hard in the paint for Dari, which is cool. It's cool to see.
Lisa, a tenant and a union member running for Congress.
Daria and Lisa have reunited families separated by ICE, and she's on the front lines of our fight for a city we can all afford. I'm proud to endorse her for Congress.
Chevalier, and I approve this message. I'm Daria Lisa.
He's going hard in the paint. You got exposed for being a fake number.
Who do you think loves America more, Ilhan Omar or Donald Trump? Ilhan Omar, of course. It's not even a question, without doubt. Oh my God. Are you serious right now? Or are you actually, Rob, is he serious? Of course I am. I'm totally serious. We conducted a poll as a tale that asked Americans, who do they think loves this country more, Ilhan Omar or Donald Trump? And guess what? 90% of the respondents said that it was Ilhan Omar. Rob, pull up that piece that I wrote to prove my own point. Oh my God, I can't believe this. I am so glad that you're saying this in public for everybody to hear.
Stand by, and you're a racist.
Hold on. What you're saying is that you think that Ilhan Omar loves the United States more than President Trump, right? I proudly believe that, and you could clip that up and show everybody. Ilhan Omar is a bigger patriot than Donald Trump. That is just a fact. Zateo even says it. Ilhan Omar is also a nice person. If you speak to anybody who's ever worked for Donald Trump, they say he's a disgusting and vile person. You're so funny. So why do you think that Donald Trump won in such a landslide? He didn't. I know you live in a far-right algorithm, but Kamala actually won a lot more of the popular vote than people think she did. Kamala won a...
Dude, it's his Mehdi Hasan is actually the one that I think is interesting, because like I've never heard someone do a Mehdi Hasan before. His Mehdi is pretty good too. All right. Anyway. All right. Let's get into it, Let's get into it, folks. He kind of nails the Mehdi accent. Yeah, the way he does the cheeks is on point too. She Mehdi on me till I Hasan. Austin is fighting for the working class, by the way. You are not.
Where's Austin?
Thank you, big boss.
Where's Austin?
Oh, he's gonna ride that forever, dude. He's gonna ride that wave permanently. Till the end of time. God damn it, dude. What the hell are we doing? Are you going to talk about your biggest op not being the first trillionaire? Okay, dude. Elon Musk Day today. Of course, Magaphonics wants it. Most of these were, Jeff Colton says, AOC did a voter's guide, but snubbed 2 DSA candidates in the voter's guide. Most of these were announced already, but worth noting that AOC did not back. DSA endorsed Samantha Catan and Iapa Tupac, likely out of deference to their opponents, Pia Roman and Jasmine Sanchez, both of whom have worked for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. There is that. Also, speaking of which, they want to be like me so bad. Can I just say, Bernie, Prawn, not everyone can be the big dog. Not everyone can be the big dog. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I know you guys are like, oh yeah, we're doing democratic socialism. We're advancing the cause. It's like, oh, whoa, look at that. Hasan's doing a DSA sleigh rally. I guess we should do a DSA sleigh rally. It's like, listen, little bro, I'm proud of you guys. Okay, I'm proud of you guys. Just saying. Paving the way, HasanAbi, someone has to be the first. Yeah. No, it's cool. Stole my whole flow. Word for word, bar for bar. You didn't create this, little bro? Man, it's some joke, dude. I'm joking. I wonder if you'll ever do an event with Bernie. I know you've interviewed him at his events, but it would be interesting to see you both in the same lineup. Clearly, you're joking when you talk shit about Zoran, but they're definitely leftists. Wait. Talking shit about Zoran. Literally, I qualify that I love Zoran every time I talk about him. What do you mean? Yeah, you think I'm actually shitting on Bernie and Zoran? Like I invented this? You think that's a sincere take that I have? Jesus Christ, dude. How do I have to qualify everything? That's crazy. This is literally a joke-free zone. I swear to God. I swear to freaking God, dude. Holy moly, holy Toledo. Or now, with the Barry Weiss editorial decision, holy Tel Aviv! Do I have to say end joke after every joke? Goddamn. Legalize comedy. And as far as the statement about Zoran at the DSA slate rally, what I'm saying is it rings true. When I say my hope, my goal for a better future is to make Zoran seem unremarkable in comparison, it means that, what do you think? It's the other side of let 1,000 Zorans bloom. That's the other side of that story. When you got 1,000 Zorans running in every race, all of a sudden, people are expecting that. That's not a joke. That's not a joke at all. That's a promise. That's my goal. That's my hope. What you think the people elected Zoran so that he would be a good mayor? I mean, that's a given, right? That's the bare minimum. Zoran is supposed to be a representative of a broader movement, and he is. And he understands that. He understands the role he plays here. Him being a good mayor is a part of that, right? The goal here is to associate good governance with democratic socialism. After many years of viewership, I've come to realize, like Twitter or X, we are nothing without our liberal woke skulls to punch at. This broadcast has some of the most fun and funny moments while also having a never-ending stream of actually Andes. And something about that mix makes for a more beautiful democratic discourse. Anyway, play more Kirk AI clips. How come AOC hasn't endorsed the New York City DSA slate? AOC doesn't endorse against incumbent candidates in the House, which I think she should, and I think everyone should. But that's just like the common meta. Democrats that are already in elected office rarely ever endorse against incumbents. In the House, they'll endorse against Senate seats and vice versa. Like senators will do that against representatives. She was literally that in 2018. No, I know. Trust me, I know. I think she should. It's not unique to AOC though, is what I'm saying. This is just like common practice because they're a part of the political machine. I think that there will be a lot more bandwidth for more bold decisions like that in the future though, if our numbers grow, right? If there's a real political force that is a threat to the establishment and can provide, defense when necessary, for example, and has some level of leverage internally within the party, and then you'll see more bold decisions. Outside of that, though, there was a nice little cross promo. You guys didn't notice that, like, there are certain races that Zoran didn't want to disrupt that AOC endorsed in, and then certain races that AOC didn't want to offend the sensibilities of certain key allies that she has worked with, where Zoran endorsed. Figure it out, dude. Figure it out. Like, a lack of endorsement of this sort doesn't imply anything. Read between the lines for once. It's funny because our enemies are. Right? I think there are a lot of things shadows choose not to notice when it comes to AOC and Zoran. Lamau, true. Israel made a power play today that literally was designed just for me, for the record. Okay? I need you to understand something. We did not know who this guy was that well until recently. A British pedophilia enjoyer by the name of Trevor Phillips, who you might recall from his disastrous hit job against Zach Polanski, has now been hired by ZBS News, the most trusted news resource in Tel Aviv. Barry Weiss has done it again. Incredibly dynamic, unbelievably Islamophobic, Jeffrey Epstein affiliate defender till his last breath, basically. Close associate of Mendelsohn and active defender of Mendelsohn, even to this day. Here he is in all of his glory. Barry Weiss has decided to welcome to the team Trevor Phillips. Absolutely despicable. Trevor Phillips GTA reference. Yes, Barry Weiss follows me. Anyway, let's get to some other news now. Now that we covered the Bernie headlining a rally with Zohran Kwame Mamdani for his congressional slate, Claire for New York, Daria Lisa, Claire Valdez, and Bradley Lander. While we go back to the Strait of Hormuz, Reuters UAE just sent $3 billion to Iran. It might be real for this time. We shall see. Okay. CNN had a montage of the 39 times the war ended. Oh my God. Beast mode. CNN. Before CNN turns into ZNN, here are the last gasps of some of the producers at CNN making an impact before Barry Weiss hits it like a Zionist meteor. Okay? Let's start there, actually. Here's Donald Trump, and the 39 times he said he's close to a deal with Iran. Over the course of the 105 days that Operation Epstein's Fury has unfolded, bringing about destruction to Iran, destruction to American assets, including American troops, and a complete destabilization of the energy markets around the globe, Donald Trump has tirelessly advocated, working round the clock for a ceasefire, and yet has never been able to achieve it, even though he has seemingly achieved it 39 times. Let's take a look.
Major points of agreement. They want to make a deal. And we are very willing to make a deal.
Well, I think we're going to end it. I can't tell you for sure when they want to make a deal so badly. You have no idea how badly they want to make a deal.
They want to make a deal so badly. I do see a deal.
They do it.
We were very close to a deal.
I think it's close to over, yeah. I mean, I view it as very close to over.
It's looking very good that we're going to make a deal with Iran, and it's going to be a good deal. This process should go very quickly. We're going to end that war very quickly. They want to make a deal so badly. We think we're close to a deal, and that's okay. We're in the final throes of what will be a very, very good deal.
Today makes 39 times that he has said something like that.
We have major points of agreement. They want to make a deal, and we are very willing to make a deal.
Well, I think we're going to end it.
Excuse me. That's called the art of the deal, you silly goose. You simply don't have the mental fortitude to understand when a real deal maker comes around and decides to wheel and deal. The real deal is the lack of a deal all along. The real deal making is when there is no deal that's imminent and you just keep saying it over and over again. That, my friends, is the art of the deal. Yeah. You simply lack the mental fortitude to comprehend the 15-dimensional chess that's at play here. Oh, Trump has fallen asleep again during an Oval Office event with fishermen. Guess what? Also a part of the deal-making process. Okay? Yeah, you don't get it. You don't understand. You don't get it. Also, another part, a pivotal part of deal-making is when you show people that you are the alpha dog. Okay? Alpha dogs sleep wherever they must. Alpha dogs sleep in the middle of the Oval Office. I take back what I said. It's not 15-dimensional chess. It's 1,500-dimensional chess. He's showing the rest of the world that he is unafraid, surrounded by enemies. He can still fall asleep like that. You might think it's narcolepsy. You might think it's dementia. You might think it's his age, but it's none of those things. Well, it might be all of those things. But what it is Donald Trump showing everyone that's watching he does not care. He is so powerful. After all, 39 separate instances of wheeling and dealing. You'd fall asleep too. That's right. You'd fall asleep too. You'd take a tactical nap. Who amongst us hasn't thought about taking a tactical nap at their place of work when shit gets boring? You know who gets to do that? Big dick bandits.
All right, we just want to bring you up to speed with some breaking news that we are just getting in now. So Pakistan's Prime Minister, Shehbaz Sharif, on Friday, that's today, said that a final agreed text of a peace deal between the United States and Iran has now been reached, and that Islamabad is working with both sides to finalize the next step. Obviously, this comes as there is a lot of back and forth between the United States and Iran. The Iranians have also just recently said that a deal is closer than it has ever been. So we will continue to follow this and see if we get more news and see just how close we may be to an actual.
So close.
Thank you, Santa. All right, we want to get you up to speed right away with some breaking news out of the United States. The president, Donald Trump, has posted on his Truth Social platform He is criticizing the Iranian media's reporting of this potential agreement that he announced between the U.S.
Okay, maybe it's not. God damn it. Oh, brother. Oh, God damn it, dude. I thought this was it. You know, this time it's. So is it happening or not is a question that many of you have. And I've been obviously joking around, but let's take a look at the only side that actually gives us real, reliable information. And yes, that is certainly not the American side. It's not the Israeli side. It's the Iranian side. J.D. Vance responds, but let's hear what the Iranian side said. Iranian Foreign Minister Sayed Abbas Araghchi says, on the MOU, a memorandum of understanding has never been closer, calls on media to refrain from speculating on details. Sayed Abbas Araghchi actually does confirm the deal is close. The Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding has never been closer. Pending its finalization, the media should refrain from entering speculation about its content. In line with our responsible and transparent approach, all details will be shared with the public in due course. Now, just so you understand, this is new. Abbas Araghchi has, what is this? Response. Millionaire Hasan Piker, Nepo baby to a family of Turkish billionaires who made their fortune off the Armenian genocide and charging rent as landlords, complains about paying $6,500 for a luxury seat at a luxury sporting event and not getting a shout out by the NBA. Shocking. No, this is real. All of this happened. What can I respond to? Yeah, no, it's real. My father, my father's father, me, we are all billionaires. I'm a billionaire. Yeah, our whole family. And we made the billions off of the Armenian genocide, specifically. I don't ask how one can make billions off the Armenian genocide. Just go along with it, you know? Yeah, it's true. And yes, I did complain a lot about the luxury sporting event that I went to. And the only number that they got wrong is I actually sat courtside. I lied. I sat courtside. I paid $200,000 for a ticket, which to me is like basically $1 because I'm a multi-billionaire. And yeah, all of this is true. He got me. He got my ass. Yeah. Bro, you got to say you're joking. Cockroach Man takes it literally. I mean, nah, so who gives a dude? Haven't you realized by now that these people don't understand sarcasm? Dude, come on. Come on. Yeah, Elon Musk is not the first trillionaire. I am. People don't know. The secret's out, guys. Beast mode. Yeah. Is that tweet satire? No, I think that person sincerely is trying to, I don't know, do the weirdest version of defamation you possibly could do. Whenever Reddit goes down, I come in here and ask, hey, bro, did you see Reddit is down? I don't know. Yeah. Nobody knows that Tom Steyer's actually your dad. No, I'm his dad, actually. That's why he has $1 billion. I gave him a cool bill. I have so many billions that I gave Tom Steyer just for fun. $1 billion. I was like, I forgot about it already. That's right. Gave him a crumb of my billies. Anyway, meanwhile, J.D. Vance, while Araghchi is talking about a memorandum of understanding actually being close, which is important. This is new, right? Even then, it doesn't really matter, though, because once again, Israel might have a difference in opinion here. So regardless of how close the memorandum of understanding is to being finalized on the American side, on the Iranian side, have you forgot to ask the most important, the most pivotal side, Israel? Seems like you forgot to ask them for consent, which means deal's not finalized, like I said, until the ink is dried and the American troops, the American naval assets are moving in the opposite direction that they're moving in. I'll believe it when I see it. However, J.D. Vance strikes a very diplomatic tone and is clearly preparing a narrative on unfreezing of Iranian funds, which Trump has repeatedly claimed he would not do. And on other terms, he said, I'm seeing a lot of fake information about a potential deal to reopen the strait and end Iran's nuclear weapons program. First, the Iranians are not receiving any cash, and no funds are being released for simply signing a deal or attending a meeting. The deal is structured to ensure that the U.S. and its allies' concerns are prioritized. Ooh, this is good stuff. If you recall, there were teases upon teases. Throughout this process, where Trump would signal to what he would want out of this deal and what he would be comfortable giving away. This was one of those things. He rarely ever mentioned the cash, the assets being unfrozen. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of paperwork, legalese, justifications that makes it seem as though we're not giving pallets of cash directly to Iran, which is one of the things that Trump railed on Obama and even Joe Biden over. So we shall see. But obviously, no matter which way you cut it, it is still the same ordeal, right? I've noticed a couple of bizarre things in the reporting over the last few hours. First, people who rightly said Donald Trump was a historic president a month ago now criticizing a deal based on unconfirmed media reports. Second, people who say you can't trust a word said by the IRGC, who apparently believe anonymously sourced social media posts. The president is going to get us a good outcome one way or another. Yeah, the whiny groiper is back. These two almost simultaneous tweets should be read together in order to better understand what's going on. But is there someone you forgot to ask? The real president of the United States of America comes in, Benjamin Netanyahu. As long as I am Prime Minister of Israel, Iran will not have nuclear weapons. There is full agreement between me and the president, the fake president, President Trump, on this issue. For over 30 years, I have been at the forefront of the international campaign against Iran's nuclear program. Had it not been for this campaign, Iran would long ago have an atomic bomb to destroy Israel. Iran is working to destroy the Jewish state, and I dedicate my life to preventing them from doing so. As long as I'm Prime Minister of Israel, this will not happen. You know this is a Hebrew tweet, translated from Hebrew to English, because he talks about how Iran's goal, first and foremost, is to destroy Israel. And I feel like in the English-speaking world, if he were to release this, people would probably have a very different attitude on it. They'd be like, damn, I didn't know. God damn, bro. Big Yahoo, moving. Politico reports from 4 minutes ago, deal with Iran is near, but not final, senior U.S. official says. All right, these are good events. These are good events.
And Iran. So I'm going to read you the the True Social post that he has put out. He said this: the terms that Iran leaked out to the fake news have nothing to do with the terms that were agreed to in writing. What they said, including their weak and pathetic statement on having a deal, bears no relation to the truth. Very dishonorable people to deal with. With them, there is no such thing as dealing in good faith. Amazing. Also, their totally rebuffed drone attack last night against Indian ships leaving the Hormuz Strait is totally unacceptable. They better get their act together and fast. So remember, President Trump had previously called off strikes against Iran last night and said that there was this deal that was going to be signed imminently, perhaps even as early as this weekend. He was looking to dispatch the vice president, J.D. Vance, for some kind of a signing ceremony. We then got details from the Iranian media on what exactly this deal may entail. And it includes, I'm going to list them off for you, on the nuclear file, no new agreement regarding Iran's nuclear program, make any new commitments. They say that on the Strait of Hormuz, again, this is Iranian state media reporting, that they make no commitment to relinquish control over the Strait of Hormuz. When it comes to ending the war, they said that the U.S. committed to ending the Israeli regime's war in Lebanon. They calls for an end to the war. And when it comes to frozen assets, the Iranians are also saying that part of the funds that are being frozen will be released immediately. So there is a lot to sort out here as to what's what and where this leaves the status of the deal. But we are going to try to sort through all of this. We're going to do a quick swap over. My colleague Imran Khan will be here in just about 2 minutes from now. Stay tuned.
After saying there was a deal, President Trump is now lashing out at Iran. In a Truth Social post that appeared just a few moments ago, he called Tehran, and I'm quoting him now, dishonorable for what he's calling inaccurate descriptions of a proposed agreement. He also said they better get their act together and they better do so fast. Let's go to CNN's Kristen Holmes over at the White House. Kristen, what else is the president saying this morning? It's all very dramatic.
Yeah, and Wolf, we're going to get to what he's saying in a second, but I do want to explain how we got here and what it is that he is referring to, because we had gotten a readout of this memorandum of understanding from a diplomat who had been briefed on what was in this document, and some of the key points were this: that it would be a 60-day ceasefire that would include everything, Lebanon included, that the Strait of Hormuz would be opened immediately, and that pre-war levels of traffic would begin again within 30 days, that the U.S. blockade of ports and some Iranian sanctions would all open up as part of this deal, and that it satisfies all the U.S. requirements on the nuclear issue. So that is what we had been reporting. Then we had Iran come out, state media, and give their version of the deal, which looks significantly different. And there are a couple of points in there that are likely to make President Trump angry. One of them, they would not commit to ceding control over the Strait of Hormuz. And the other is that frozen funds, these frozen assets that have been a point of contention for President Trump, they say, Iranian state media, and of course, keep in mind the source here, that the agreement would demand the release of $24 billion in those frozen funds. So now you have President Trump reacting to this, essentially saying that the terms that Iran leaked to the fake news media have nothing to do with the terms that were agreed to in writing. What they said, including their weak, pathetic statement on having a deal, bears no relation to the truth. And with them, there is no such thing as dealing in good faith. I assume what he's talking about when he talks about their weak and pathetic statement on the deal is the fact that we had heard that the response to the deal, or the response to President Trump, was that the text still requires review and finalization. They have been saying that it has not been signed off on. President Trump, of course, saying that everybody was in agreement. So that is what is happening now. And again, we've been down this path before. President Trump says a deal is imminent, and then we see a situation like this where one of the sides starts to backpedal and it all falls through. So we'll see what's going to happen now. U.S. officials are still cautiously optimistic.
We shall see. All right, Kristen Holmes over at the White House for us. Thank you very much, Pamela.
All right, Wolf, let's continue this conversation with CNN political and global affairs analyst Barack
Oh,
Levine,
hell
who's
yeah.
also the global affairs correspondent.
Hell yeah. Barack, Unit 8200, Ravid. Very good. Very, very good. A deal is imminent. As I have said 39 times, it is not because of market close. Once again, Donald Trump is ending wars. What is this? You're washed, bro? 46,000 people are watching this. Oh my God. Liberalism, man. Liberalism. No deal is coming. They're just going to attack Iran this weekend. Another smokescreen. Who knows?
For Axios. What do you make of this development with President Trump going from they've reached a great settlement to now saying Iran needs to get its act together because of what the state media there is reporting, which is different from what the U.S. has said?
Yes, I think what the U.S. has been told by the Qatari mediators and the Pakistani mediators and the Iranian negotiators themselves yesterday was that they're basically ready to sign. That was the message that the White House got. And preparation started for a possible signing ceremony during the weekend. For example, 4 U.S. Air Force C-17 planes left Washington yesterday to Europe as an advance for a possible trip by Vice President Vance to Geneva to sign this agreement with the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament, Muhammad Bakr Kalibaf. But I think what happened in the recent hours is what happened several times during those negotiations, that every time when the parties were close to a deal, each side wanted to market the deal to its own domestic audience. And when you do that, then each side obviously gives the deal its own spin, emphasizes the things that it's going to get and downplays the things that it's going to give. And I think that's, again, what happened today when the Iranian presented their narrative or their spin on what has been agreed, and President Trump pushed back and presented him and White House officials presented their narrative about what has been agreed. And I think it's not totally different, but I think each side just emphasizes what it is getting from a deal and not really talking about what it is giving in this deal.
Because Barack, when I woke up this
Trump lies that before he came around, you had to go to Japan to get Maine lobster.
But you have never had. And again, in Maine, I opened it up. You know who was fishing there? Canada. Japan was fishing there. Maine lobster. You couldn't get a Maine lobster. You had to go to Japan to get a Maine lobster. You believe it?
True. True fact stated, man. Yeah. Famously, not a lot of lobsters in Maine. Not a lot of Maine lobsters in Maine. Primarily in Japan. That's where the Maine lobsters are. All right, let's get back to this.
And saw everything that was happening overnight. It looked like there was going to be a deal that included a 60-day ceasefire, including other stops, including a ceasefire involving Israeli strikes on Hezbollah targets in Lebanon as well. But now,
I mean, dude, I've literally told you frame one how this was going to go. I'm almost certain. I have no idea what the final deal is going to look like. I haven't seen anything new, but it is going to closely resemble the initial 10-point agreement that Iran sent to the American side on week 2, okay? Because the back and forth and the minutia, the back and forth on the minutia of the memorandum of understanding are secondary to who's actually fucking winning the war. The side that is capable of dealing damage, serious economic damage, and dealing a lot of damage to the American military confidence and might has been Iran. And of course, that is precisely the reason why, regardless of whichever way they cut this, however they claim they've secured a victory here, unless Israel intervenes somehow again, and then there is no deal. If there is a deal at all, it will look a lot like the Iranian the Iranian points that we've known about since the second week of Operation Epic Fury, Operation Epstein's Fury.
now it looks like this whole thing potentially could collapse. Do you think potentially, God forbid, that
this motherfucker's Turkish and still says Iran wrong? We say Iran. In Turkey, we say Iran. Iran. Iran is closer to how you say it.
the region now, the U.S., Israel, and Iran are on the verge of an all-out war?
I'm not sure because I think even though President Trump ordered new strikes in recent days, all of them were still below the threshold of an all-out war. I'm not saying it can't happen. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu definitely wants this war to resume because he doesn't believe the Iranians and he thinks that the regime needs to be weakened even more. But I think that at least at the moment, even though Trump just, posted this very angry response to the Iranians, my sense from talking to people that are involved in the negotiations on the U.S. side is that they still want to see if they can get to sign this agreement over the weekend. I still hear the same thing from the different mediators. So it might all collapse. We might seeing that at the moment how this thing is collapsing, but it might be, one of those hiccups that you have before you get to a deal.
Yeah, yesterday, President Trump was threatening to launch U.S. troops to take over Iran's critically important Karg Island. That sounds like that would be a major escalation in this war right there. And a source is telling CNN, by the way, Barack, that the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, wasn't aware of an agreement with Iran. And that.
Dog, how many times have we heard this? How many times are we going to play this song and dance, dude? Benjamin Netanyahu was not aware that a deal was taking place. Oh, oops, we just hit the button where we bomb Beirut and kill a bunch of civilians right after this, right after the deal comes out that is supposedly imminent. I mean, we have a number. It's 39, about to be 40. So who knows? Maybe this is the time. Maybe now is the time. Maybe now this deal will be finalized. Economy is 1 week away from crashing. Oil CEOs visited Donald Trump. Maybe the oil CEOs should visit Benjamin Netanyahu, the real fucking president. They should just cut out the middleman, dude. Go to the big boss. Clearly, he's running the fucking show. Go to him. Tell him, Mr. President, please, Mr. Big Yahoo, please. Enough is enough. Like, sure, we've benefited from this crisis, but we are literally running out of supply. Also, it's really funny to compare, what CNN will potentially look like after Barry Weiss takes over the editorial team to what it looks like right now, pre-Barry Weiss's takeover. You have a literal IDF Unit 8200 guy, Barack Ravid, talking to the former spokesperson for AIPAC, Wolf Blitzer. And this is probably the most favorable coverage that you will get from CNN. Like, this is literally the most, honest. Doesn't mean it's actually honest, but it's actually the closest to honest coverage.
Remarkably, he learned of it only from social media. What does that say to you about the Trump-Netanyahu alliance, at least right now?
So first about Carg Island, I have to say, I find it, at least at the moment, things change all the time and very quickly. I do not sense that there's either an appetite or a real operational plan, imminent operational plan to do anything on Carg Island. I have no information that shows that this is where Trump really wanted to go. And it is true that Netanyahu learned about Trump's post yesterday announcing that there's a deal from social media when he was sitting with his security chief and one of his advisors came into the room and told them that while they were discussing about what are the potential U.S. strikes that were going to happen several hours later, all of a sudden one of his advisors came in and said, well, there are no strikes. There's actually a deal, according to what President Trump just posted. And the U.S. did not notify Netanyahu in advance of this post. And I think that in the phone call, from what I heard from U.S. officials about a phone call Netanyahu and Trump had several hours later, Netanyahu was very, he sort of told the president that, he understands that there is a deal and there's nothing he could do. I'm sure that if Prime Minister Netanyahu read President Trump's post from a few minutes ago, his mood improved significantly.
Yeah, certainly did. All right, Barack Ravid, thank you very, very much.
After 105 days of President Trump's 4 to 6 week war in Iran, are we finally close?
Smart move. Lie to Israel while we make a deal. You don't have to lie to Israel. You can just tell Israel to shut the fuck up. I don't know if you remember me or not, but you spent 30 minutes having your followers look up 10-year-old pictures of me because I cooked you and told you to quit wasting your time on the election because it was already over and that you're a small shrimp motherfucker and you started crying and whining like a gay. Unban this guy. Untiming out this guy. Fossabot. Bad bot. Either way, if not, just wanted to remind you I was right about the election and about you being a small, soft gay. Hope you get locked up / deported. Have a great night. Thank you, Cole Roberts. Shocker, Democrats, gay boy lying. I don't think this happened. I was fucking pussy since I was in 7th grade on God. I lost my V card at 13, dog. Oh my God, this guy's awesome. To you, send what? Picture of your meat? No thanks. I'm good. I remember this loser. I have forgotten. He was so unremarkable. I forgot about this loser. But seems like a cool guy that has many, many friends, though. Only cool guys talk like this. Yeah, dude, I've been slamming puss since I was 13. You're freaking soft and gay, dude. You're a gay soft guy. You're a gay guy, dude. I've been fucking mad puss, dude. I've been crushing mad puss since I was like 7 years old, actually, dude. Fuck you, dude. Sick. Cool, man. Fucking awesome.
Closing in on a peace deal. Well, despite President Trump claiming some fairly positive rhetoric, there are 4 significant risks to making progress here, not least of which President Trump's threats to seize Carg Island, which would be a massive escalation. Secondly, the crossing the Strait of Hormuz, reports of 2 drones attacking. It's clearly a tinderbox. Prime Minister Netanyahu claims that his war with Hezbollah is outside the deal. And finally, is the peace deal actually going to deliver the results that we expect? Let's take those in turn. First of all, President Trump's threat to seize Cargill Island and other oil infrastructure for Iran. This would mark a major escalation. It would require boots on the ground, and that would be a major risk for US servicemen on the ground in the region, and would also risk extending and prolonging the war significantly. But within hours of issuing that threat, President Trump took it off the table. Why did he issue such a major threat? Well, in the past, he has used threats to try to coerce Iran into making some sort of compromises, but it also sometimes is just expresses the frustration that President Trump has with the process. What is clear is President Trump's predictable unpredictability does risk compromising the peace process. Another area of concern that could unseat the process is the Strait of Hormuz. Reports last night that 2 drones were intercepted en route to targeting some commercial vessels in the Strait. What Central Command has admitted is that US vessels are escorting, the US Navy is escorting commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz in direct defiance with Iran's declared area of oversight here. That's almost certainly provoking Iran to firing drones. And this is all about who controls the Strait of Hormuz, with both sides trying to demonstrate that they do so. But the reality is that even though Central Command claims that hundreds of commercial vessels have been moved through the straits over the last few weeks, the reality is that's significantly below the routine level of movements that are required to be sustainable. So that's not a sustainable model. In addition, there are grave risks every time you start firing weapons in the region, particularly if we end up with any US casualties. Another issue, the third issue that could risk compromising this, is Prime Minister Netanyahu's claim that actually the war against Hezbollah is not included in the core deal. What is interesting, Prime Minister Netanyahu piled praise on President Trump for achieving his war objectives of actually curtailing Tehran's nuclear program, for reducing their stockpiles of ballistic missiles, and also stopping Iran threatening its neighbors. But also, very quickly after that, Netanyahu said that the deal did not include his war against Hezbollah. What is clear is Prime Minister Netanyahu has got his own agenda in this war and sees this as a once-in-a-generational opportunity to deal with Hamas, but also Hezbollah. In the past, the way they've dealt with that is they've created a buffer zone by moving, invading southern Lebanon and actually pushing Hezbollah north. But it does appear likely, as of this occasion, they could be looking to move even further north. But it is worth remembering that Iran has made very clear that any deal with America had to include Hezbollah. And you'll recall that it wasn't that long ago that Iran pulled out of talks with America when the IDF started attacking Hezbollah very close to Beirut. And finally, there's the deal itself. Are we actually inching towards some sort of final deal on the Straits? It is worth remembering that any deal is actually nothing more at this stage than a memorandum of understanding, a one-pager that provides a framework within future talks can be run. What is clear is that fairly early on, they do want to get the Strait of Hormuz open. I mean, both parties want that, and that will create a massive relief in the international community because it should mark the end of the global energy crisis. The challenge, of course, is what price is America prepared to pay for that? There is a talk about easing of sanctions, potentially unfreezing some Iranian assets as well. But regardless, there is going to be a price to pay. It is remembering as well that the Strait of Hormuz wasn't an issue before the war. It was only closed as a result of the American action. Therefore, any deal on the Strait simply returns it to its pre-war status quo. The challenge, of course, is that this doesn't seem to make much progress on the nuclear question. In fact, the two core issues that are causing concern, one of which is Israel's war with Hezbollah. Is that included in the deal? If it is, then it's going to be a real test of President Trump's influence over Prime Minister Netanyahu, or indeed his control. But the second one is, how's that nuclear question going to be resolved? Well, the challenge is that this one-pager will not actually stop Tehran developing nuclear weapons, and yet that was one of the sole aims of the American military action. What is...
Do these guys never get tired of doing the same analysis? No, and we never get tired of hearing it.
Elon.
All right, it's close. Seems it's close. Democracy Now! Covered your rally. Nice. Hasan Piker joins New York DSA rally ahead of New York primaries.
Is because, I mean, this is the tip of the spear of the socialist movement right now. There are a lot of incredible candidates out here that are really pushing the needle and expressing radical politics that has unfortunately been forgotten in American politics, but there's a real appetite for this. And I want to make sure that I can do everything in my power to get them to win these seats, get them to win these elections, and not only advance this bold agenda that puts the working class first over corporate interests, but then also charts a better path forward for American politics in general. The reason why I came to New York.
Working class people are being crushed right now. Billionaires and bosses are running our lives and stealing our wages, stealing our time, and working class people need to fight back. Zoran's campaign last year, it turned out 100,000.
Your purple hat rip? No, I have the black hat. Purple hat's gone though. This peace deal will close until be closed until market close. Yeah. Yeah, Jeremy Scale talked about this too. He said that the Iranian negotiation team added senior psychologists to review draft communications to Trump because they legitimately believe Trump is suffering from mental illness. And they're not the only country. They're not the only country that's like worried about Trump's cognitive capabilities. These are the reported full details of the deal as reported by Iranian media. New details of a 14-point draft plan from Iran-U.S. memorandum. This is what Trump said was leaked, and he was very mad about it, which I suspect is probably the closest you're going to get to the truth, maybe. I don't know. New deals of the 14-point draft plan. Immediate and permanent ceasefire on all fronts, including Lebanon. U.S. commitment not to interfere in Iran's internal affairs and to respect Iran's sovereignty. Full lifting of the naval blockade within 30 days. U.S. commitment to withdraw its force from areas surrounding Iran. Reopening the Strait of Hormuz within 30 days under Iranian arrangements. Suspension of sanctions on Iranian oil, petrochemicals, and related exports with full access to the resulting revenues. U.S. and its allies to provide reconstruction plans for Iran worth at least $300 billion. 60-day negotiation period to reach a final agreement on nuclear issues and the complete removal of U.S. primary and secondary sanctions, as well as related UN Security Council and International Atomic Energy Agency measures. Iran reaffirms its NPT commitment to not develop nuclear weapons. During the negotiations, the U.S. will not deploy additional forces to the region or impose new sanctions. Release of $24 billion in frozen Iranian assets during the 60-day negotiation period, with half made available before talks begin. Establishment of monitoring mechanism to oversee implementation of the agreement. I mean, this is literally everything that they wanted. This is what they've been publicly demanding. So, with very little changes to the initial demands being made. Why are you talking about this like it's going to happen? I mean, it's going to happen one day. It's just a matter of how much damage does the rest of the world have to endure before it happens. Only if we can get Israel to stop committing genocide in Gaza, for fuck's sake. I don't know what the full scope will look like, but if America is forced to restrain Israel in Lebanon, then that yields additional benefits. I can't trust you after Ukraine. Okay, man, you get it wrong one time. I'm far more restrained nowadays with predictions, especially that pertain to insane aging despots. Okay? They get active, okay? And they move in unpredictable ways. Arakshi says, control of the Strait of Hormuz rests with Iran and Oman. There's no international waterway there. He said, Iran and Oman have provided security and operational services to vessels for years free of charge, but management of the strait will not return to how it was before the war. Arakshi added that consultations have been held with Oman and a joint plan may be announced soon, including the future fees for services in the strait. Yeah. Trying to imagine a reaction from the GOP if Barack Obama had favorably retweeted Iranian Foreign Minister Zarif during the JCPOA negotiations. What a world we live in now. I mean, this is a only Trump can go to China moment, only Nixon can go to China moment, but this is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Any kind of posture that reaffirms a commitment to the ceasefire revolves around normalizing relations with Iran. It revolves around normalizing relations with Iranian leaders. So technically, yes, there is a double standard here, but it's one that benefits peace. You know? So the thing is, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. While I do recognize the double standard, I'll take it. Final agreement will be endorsed by a UN Security Council resolution. Reuters is moving ahead and reporting that the UAE is either unlocking or paying billions of dollars to Iran, including transfers up to $20 billion in an attempt to reset relations after the recent war. $3 billion has reportedly already been paid. Oh my God. That is straight up. God damn. God damn. They said Dubai, if you want the Dubai dream, the idea of Dubai to exist, to persist, then put the cash in the bag, little bro. Two regional sources told Reuters the UAE had agreed to the release of a total of $10 billion, more than $3 billion of which had already been delivered. Two other sources with knowledge of the arrangement put the total funds involved at $20 billion, adding that the move had been agreed in return for a halt to Iranian attacks on the United Arab Emirates. One of the sources with knowledge of the arrangement also said a first tranche of $3 billion had already been made available. Reuters could not establish whether the funds earmarked for the transfers belonged to the UAE or originated in long-blocked Iranian accounts in the UAE banking system or elsewhere. But a UAE official asked to comment on the transfer said the country was trying to ease tensions and foster peace. That's crazy. Apparently, years of delicate diplomatic negotiations and proposals for a concert of civilizations and so forth were less effective than firing hundreds of drones at Dubai. Yeah, seems to be the case. Because remember, like, people will obviously make it seem like, oh, Iran is so belligerent. They're such a crazy actor. They're so violent. They're so barbaric. Look at them. They only know one way to deal with people, and that's like through military intervention. And they're using their ballistic munitions. The reality of the matter is, Iran has always been in favor of a negotiated settlement, always in favor of diplomacy, perhaps to a fault. We saw the process look like twice. We saw what Iran's previous practice of strategic restraint looked like with numerous acts of perfidy and death and destruction. Once they stopped playing the role of restrained actor in the region and went balls to the motherfucking wall, all of a sudden everyone is singing a very different tune. I don't think this should be the case. Iran is only violent towards its people. Yeah, buddy, I don't know. Dubai seems to be singing a very different tune. We're literally watching Iran act in a more militant manner towards regional actors that have, actively fomented their demise. Anyway, kind of feels like America found a way to route Iranian resources or, cash infusion to the Iranian economy without being directly involved. Let's see what Dennis Citrinowitz's analysis is. Atlantic Council's non-resident fellow. Off of what Gregory Brew, another senior analyst for Eurasia Group, says the UAE is releasing billions of dollars. This is what we were just previously looking at. It's the Reuters coverage on this issue. The UAE is releasing billions of dollars to Iran as a part of a deal to reduce bilateral tensions and assist with reopening the strait. It could be as much as $20 billion. $3 billion has already been delivered, confirming rumors from earlier this week. The move comes after the Emirates emerged as the single largest target for Iranian missiles and drones during the war, from confrontation to accommodation. Dennis Citrinowitz says the growing rapprochement between the UAE and Iran undermines a key assumption that has shaped much of the Israeli debate over the past year, namely the Gulf states would move closer to Israel, expand the Abraham Accords, or even support a more confrontational regional posture towards Tehran in the wake of the war. There was one guy who's not a professional analyst who doesn't work for any of these think tanks who said this early on in the conflict, even though many people didn't believe him. Who was that guy? Oh, that's right. It was me. I said this over and over again. And everyone was like, what are you talking about? You think these guys are going to fucking feel comfortable dealing with Iran diplomatically ever again? They're going to be advancing the death and destruction of Iran. They're going to be actively demanding the death and destruction of Iran, many people said, because they were watching CNN. And CNN kept repeatedly saying, oh my God, how fucking stupid. Oh my God, Iran, why are they attacking the Gulf? I told you this because I do talk to people in the Gulf. I do talk to people that live there who talk to other people. I talk to journalists, reporters, and analysts that live in the region who have direct access to more powerful players in the region. And I told you over and over again that the attitude that was being demonstrated in mainstream media, okay, and yes, Jeremy Scahill also said the same thing, and he also talks to people directly, not only just in the Gulf region, but certainly in Iran as well. Turns out we were right, and all the fucking hours poured into this analysis by CNN was wrong. How is that possible? That the Gulf monarchs looked at the situation and realized it's not so great to have American military bases when that doesn't actually come with real security assurances. As a matter of fact, it turns out when you have American military bases so close to a regional adversary that you have to live beside, that has shown its resilience, that has proven its resilience, that has proven its capabilities of establishing sufficient military deterrence, Those American military bases simply turn your host nations into missile sponges, missile magnets. America is primarily invested in defending only one country, and even then they've done a piss poor job at that too. For the regional monarchs, if American defense doesn't actually have real American defense, and it's just simply they're simply playing a role in expending Iranian munitions that could be directed at Israel, but instead is now directed at the Gulf. Yeah, why the fuck would they take that deal? Why would they take that deal at all? That's a terrible deal for them. This comes after they've spent billions of dollars pumping up American companies in the interest of diversifying their portfolios. But we all know that it's not just about diversifying their portfolios, trying to figure out the next phase as the world moves away from fossil fuels. They were doing that as a bribe because they thought America would have their fucking backs. Anyway, let's see what else Danny says. In reality, many Gulf states are deeply frustrated with Israel. From their perspective, they were drawn into a regional crisis that imposed significant economic and security costs on them. Since the strikes on Qatar, many in the Gulf increasingly view Israel not as a source of stability, but a potential driver of regional escalation. As a result, there is little prospect of major new normalization steps with Israel absent dramatic progress on the Palestinian issue. Gulf leaders understand that the Iranian regime is not going anywhere, and they see no strategic benefit in trying to isolate Tehran or push it into a corner. This does not mean that Gulf states have become naive about Iran. They remain deeply aware of the challenges and threats posed by Tehran. However, their preferred strategy is de-escalation and coexistence rather than confrontation. From their perspective, maintaining channels of communication with Iran is a necessity, not a choice. Shrita said today that the reason Israel got reclassified as a critical intelligence threat is because Trump actually cut Israel out of the negotiations. I don't know how much emphasis I'd put into that. But like I said, it was a pivotal point for our media to, for the first time ever, cover Israel as a threat openly. It's always been a threat, but the very fact that they're covering it as a threat, as it truly is an important difference in the coverage that we've seen from legacy publishers thus far. That doesn't happen unless something has shifted, as I said at the time, in my interpretation. Gregory Brew then follows up and says, this development undermines one of the core assumptions behind the Abraham Accords, that normalized relations between Israel and the conservative Arab states could facilitate a more effective containment of the Islamic Republic. Iran's actions and the response from the Arab world has turned this assumption on its head. Netanyahu is besides himself because he draws his strength from what he calls an agreement between him and Trump. He no longer mentions America in his speeches. All he talks about is Trump because he sees Trump as the architect of greater Israel. Sure. Mark Halperin is having a convo with some centrists, I guess, about, what is this? Why did you guys send me this link? I'm not going to watch this. Yoav Gallant, where is the uranium?
Musk's.
Anyway, SpaceX shatters Wall Street records as expected.
SpaceX starting to trade publicly this morning. It made Musk the world's first trillionaire. Elizabeth Schulze has those details for us. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Rebecca. This is a record-shattering day on Wall Street. SpaceX becoming the most valuable company ever to go public, making its founder, Elon Musk, the world's first trillionaire. Musk's rocket company, valued in its initial public offering at around $1.8 trillion, that would immediately put it in the list of the most valuable companies in the world, alongside chipmaker NVIDIA, Apple, Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. In its IPO filing, SpaceX says its goals include establishing a permanent colony on Mars with 1 million people, launching AI data centers in space, mining asteroids. The company isn't turning a profit and acknowledges that these goals might not be.
You can say anything. You can say anything, dude. This man is on a crack cocaine bender. Literally awesome bullshit. Money is fake. Everything that Elon Musk says is fake. And people don't give up, dude.
Achievable, and some big name investors are skeptical, but major banks and also retail investors have been clamoring to own shares of SpaceX as a way to bet on Elon Musk. Now, keep in mind, there are new rules on stock exchanges that make it easier for public companies to be added to index funds. What that means, if you got a 401k or retirement account, you could very soon own SpaceX without even realizing it. George.
Yeah, Elizabeth, thanks very much.
Well, thank you, Gwen. Gwen Shotwell's been an incredible partner and was one of the first people to join the company. And so thank you, Gwen. Oh, she's in New York, of course. Where is she? And yeah, it is certainly hard to believe that a little company that started in a warehouse in El Segundo is now going public for with the largest IPO that ever. And let me tell you, if people had told me this was going to happen, I was like, man, you must be smoking some really good crack, because I think this company's going to fail.
Dude, democracy is a lie. Lying is OP. Okay? There is no greater evidence than the abject failure that is Elon Musk. A failure as a human, right? What the? Did it F? Uh-oh. What happened? Are we back? It's not F'd on my end. Okay. Anyway, meritocracy is a lie. Lying is OP. And money is fake. This story that we are watching unfold in front of us is a great example of all three of those classic HasanAbi tropes that I advance over and over again. Okay? Elon Musk is a failure. And yet, in spite of his failures, because he lucked into a initial, because he happened to be at the right place at the right time, he has failed upwards with his endless wealth. He's a horrible person. He's an unbelievably insecure person. And yet, he's the richest person on the planet, right? And we know he doesn't work hard because he tweets all the goddamn time. Now, as far as SpaceX goes, hate to admit this, but it is probably the most impressive company that Elon owns. Not that he had anything to do with it personally. Not that he had anything to do with its success personally. If anything, he was probably an impediment. SpaceX, of course, is a government-subsidized operation. It should be kept in the hands of the public. But this is the nature of American capitalism. This is the nature of capitalism, and the American version of it is probably the most evolved or devolved version. John Tufel says, SpaceX IPO so perfect for right now. Company without profits, sold in a market detached from reality, based on fake promises about things it will never do, layers upon layers of bullshit. Aaron Regenberg says, what's most infuriating about the Musk trillionaire shit is that his enterprise is built almost exclusively on government contracts. It's not just that he's expropriating our wealth in an abstract way. His fortune is built on the tax dollars we pay that he then obtains through graft. This is your take. A Nazi becoming the first trillionaire off of taxpayer subsidies, mergers, and upside mine inheritance isn't an anomaly. It's showing you what the system rewards. Capitalism is a cult. The thing is, I thought after the Twitter purchase that Elon Musk would no longer be seen in such a positive light. Because I thought that even the dumbest of Americans would recognize that this guy wasn't really doing anything at all, and he's simply around being on Twitter. But I was wrong, because many Americans actually love that shit, it turns out. Many people all around the world love that shit.
I mean, I gave SpaceX less than a 10% chance of succeeding at all, to be clear. In fact, I told people this. I said, look, we're probably going to fail, but, we should give it a try, because if we don't, if there's not a new company that enters space, we will never be a truly spacefaring civilization.
I'm watching the Elon Musk IPO.
While the other aerospace companies, they build good rockets and everything, they were simply not pursuing the technology that's necessary to make life multiplanetary, to make Star Trek, to make the exciting science fiction future.
Let's see if the other mic is on real quick.
Suit looks good.
Thank you. Let's see. Does this work? I mean, it's not very good.
I can just scooch up. We can scooch.
No, it's not the scooching. It's the
scooch close to children.
It's the I guess this is.
Do you want a guest? Are you open to having a guest?
Sure.
You just look low energy. I thought I'd bring you a coffee.
Thank you. No, I needed the coffee for sure. I gotta crank up the volume a little bit though.
You gotta crank your shit.
Yeah, I gotta crank my shit real quick. Hold on.
What's up, chat? I woke up. I was supposed to go on Jen's pod today, but we couldn't. And she was like, it's at 9 a.m. And I was like, okay, I think I can do that. And then I didn't communicate, so I stayed up through the night to see if she needed me in the morning. She didn't. So then I went and worked out, and I did 1,000+ calories because I'm sweating butter right now.
Oh my God, it is hot out.
It's hot.
It's hot. You know what else is hot though? The New York Knicks, baby.
Wow, you really come full circle.
Yeah, dude, dead ass. Dead ass.
Dead ass, B.
I'm dead ass now.
I mean,
is the audio good now, or is it way too dank, chat? It should be.
I don't see any Dankensteins.
There were some people throwing up danks.
Can we get some Fentberts in chat real quick? Can we get some Gigaberts, please?
Did you pay Chud the Builder's bail to get him released early?
That's crazy.
They're calling your ass.
That's crazy.
He did kind of cook. He did kind of cook white guys with the mustache and
dude, I feel like Charlie Chaplin.
Oh my God.
I feel like Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, you were there first.
Bro, I've been rocking the D'Artagnan, the Doc Holliday for forever.
Yeah, to much success.
And then one guy goes and does racism.
Yeah, the professional races. Yeah. Elon Musk is going to be the first trillionaire. Now my number one op is getting wealthier and wealthier. We take you down the timeline of choice moments from Elon Musk versus Hasan saga, where Grums said,
I don't know if I want to be on camera.
Yeah, where Grums said you can tell a lot about Ubisoft with how much money they're throwing at platforming streamers. Elon Musk said Hasan is a fraud. Then he said sellout would be more accurate. Objectively, he's promoting a terrible company just for the money. Assassin's Creed famously delivered one of the most devastating blows on his own platform, where they say, is that the guy playing your Path of Exile 2 account?
I know, but you know what I always think is, like, I feel like you guys can mend the rift because you have some stuff you can bond over. Like, you're both fake gamers. You just both pretend to play video games.
That's true.
Which is unique.
Well, I've done something even more impressive than that. I've just stopped gaming altogether.
Right.
Which is like, I guess there's a little bit more honesty in that, as opposed to...
Dude, that's what you should do, is hire a Korean kid to play video games while you just sit
I don't think
after your stream.
Yeah.
To appease your gaming frogs, dude.
Yeah. Well, gaming frogs like complaining about not having gaming on the broadcast.
You're really gonna shit on them when they're starving.
Yeah.
Like this.
They
have nothing, Hasan.
They like complaining about not having sufficient gaming on the broadcast, and then when gaming happens, they leave anyway.
They're starving.
So I'm giving them exactly what they want, which is an opportunity to complain about not having gaming on the broadcast. I said, this bitch literally pays someone the power levels character in Path of Exile 2, Lamau. What do you mean I'm a fraud? Elon, I challenge you a duel in Elden Ring. I will cook your fat rolling ass. I cooked his ass too with a fat ratio there.
I would have watched that. That would have been next to UFC on the White House lawn. That would have been the fighting event of the decade.
Yeah. Oh my God. He would never do it. Then he called me a chicken shit R word and said that I blocked him.
That's crazy.
And then he posted the block. And then, what is this? Oh, a quiet ban would not be enough for me, this person said. Twitch needs to issue statements acknowledging they do not enforce rules evenly and clean up their moderation team. I love when random Twitter Nazis will be like, Twitch needs to change its terms of service right now, so that I no longer feel bad about Hasan being on the platform. It's like, why would they do that for you, man? Anyway, to which he replied with, what's up here at Jeff Bezos? Trying to get Jeff Bezos to ban me off Twitch. Which was really funny.
That's so awesome.
That's so awesome. Which is funny because, like, I'm literally on his platform.
Yeah.
Where he's complaining about how I blocked him on his own platform.
Yeah.
Then liberal influencer Hasan Pika tells reviewers to kill conservatives. And then he goes, incitement to murder. So he's been watching the compilations.
I'm surprised he hasn't banned you off X yet.
I think the reason why he hasn't done that is because I'm such a power user on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I'm probably one of the only accounts that doesn't bot. Like, there's like a real... organic
You're the last
I might be the last non-Nazi
account.
non-account and the last account on this platform that actively drives engagement.
You got to
for him.
start using that methodology. You got to do like a fundraiser for the DSA and then write in comments.
Yeah.
You might drive crazy traffic that way, bro. You blend in better.
Yeah. And he probably doesn't want my my nonstop posting ass to go to like Blue Sky or some shit. The double standard is not just unreal, it's surreal, it makes no sense. It says Grums again. He loves Grums. To which it was Ethan Klein reacts live to his 30-day Twitch ban for playing the HasanAbi content nuke on loop. OMG, it got banned for encouraging and glorifying extreme violence. That's the Hasan Piker's content nuke on your platform, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, yeah. Now, this is just some of the instances where he's like directly responded to people talking about me or directly responded to me. There are thousands more tweets where like Asmongold will be like, Hasan is bad or whatever. And he'll be like, yeah, we should ban him.
Can I be honest? You gotta look on the bright side with this one.
What?
Can you imagine if he was a huge fan of yours? If the only trillionaire ever was like, I love Hasan, it would look bad for your whole shit, bro.
You are right.
It would look bad for your entire mission statement.
I think the best outcome here in a normal, if we lived in a normal universe and not whatever kind of hellish nightmare that we're stuck in, would be that like a guy with that level of power and influence and wealth would not spend any time knowing who the streamer for that matter.
Right.
Like, if you are a billionaire, you should not know who Twitch streamers are. Okay? If you have reached that level of wealth accumulation, that level of power accumulation, power consolidation, you should just not know streamers.
Right. I mean, you are the dad who stepped up, though.
It's true, but, you know, it's regardless. Elon tweets to you more than he talks to all of his children combined. I know. Yes, the richest person on the planet fucking absolutely despises me. And, you know, he's still getting richer, so I guess he's doing something right. You know. Anyway, there's that. Well, the other thing that I was going to talk about was the Moist Critical did a video.
Oh, what did Moist do a video on?
On
Legos?
No. He's moved off the Lego beat. Well, there is the Lego update from Coffeezilla. We can watch that together.
I do want to watch that.
Yeah, and then there's Moist Critical did a video on Ethan suing iDubbbz.
Oh.
And then he like said he didn't agree with Ethan, obviously, but he also was like giving a lot of, he was like offering a lot of defenses for Ethan, I guess, and people were very mad about it. So then he did another video about how people were mad at him. That I was meaning to watch, but I think the better one would be the Lego one.
Yeah, dude, I've been on this Lego shit.
I know. For the record, for those of you who don't know, I actually did not know this at the time, but I've been in contact with Reckless Ben. I talked to him, and I'm trying to, offer as much aid to him behind the scenes as possible.
Yeah. Dude, in his last video, the fact that he couldn't even say bricks and minifigs, like he can't say them by name anymore, is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there at all. Like I haven't really kept up with anything.
Oh, he's under the gun right now. They drew a bead on him where he's got a lawsuit going on that he can't say anything. Before we start this, can I just say one thing?
What?
I went to Rocky Horror last night.
Oh yeah. Well, I
went to
unfortunately
Rocky
couldn't
Horror
make it.
last night.
Fucking so far
Hasan
away.
Piker was supposed to go. I really wanted to go to a show while I was in the city. Rocky Horror was so incredible. If you have the opportunity, please go. It was so amazing. The production was insane. The music was incredible. During the last few numbers, I was bawling. I was crying my eyes out.
God damn it.
Sobbing. And Matt and Austin had to like there's one straight man in the entire audience.
It's so funny.
Had to get consoled.
By the way, this is every event that we've done with you. You have bawled your eyes out.
Yes.
Whether it be the Knicks in Madison Square Garden or
It's
Rocky
been an
Horror.
emotional trip for me.
It's been an emotional trip for you. A real coming of home experience. Is that the right term? I don't know.
Yeah.
A return to form for you.
Truly.
Hopefully you won't bawl your eyes out at the Reckless Ben saga update here.
I just
like, what are they doing? Look how they massacred my boy.
Also,
Elon
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What is this? Elon could buy Los Angeles. I don't get how he can't or won't fuck with you. I mean, he does fuck with me. He just fucks with me with the limited time frame that he has allotted to fucking with me.
Damn, buying a state would be a tough move.
I mean, buying, yeah. I don't think he could buy the state of California, but
He could probably buy Rhode Island.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Will's birthright trip, Chad. That's what he's doing.
Dude.
Yeah, he said, "M New York high." Gotta love the people celebrating Elon the trillionaire status. Yeah, this is, what the fuck, dude? You are less than a worm if you were like, hell yeah, dude, this other guy wanted me to have healthcare, and I'm instead celebrating the guy who's part of the reason why I will never have it. Okay? It's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that part of our problem is like the messaging around, we shouldn't call them billionaires and trillionaires. We should call them pharaohs or kings, to remind people that they are that they are under control. Because I think this idea that you accumulated wealth, you know, with no malfeasance, no malpractice, but like when you rebrand it to like that's a god king on earth.
No, I know. That's
he
what I
doesn't
keep
obey
saying.
the laws of nature anymore.
That's what I keep repeatedly explaining to people. Like, the level of power consolidation in the hands of such few people is identical to the time of lords and kings, if not worse. Like, this is worse than robber barons, right? Like, robber barons had tremendous power as well.
This is Xerxes, bro.
Yeah, but with like the level of technology that's readily afforded, like, kings and pharaohs had to reinforce their power through intervention, like militant intervention. When you know, rebellions would take place, they would fucking strike down and strike down hard. Now you got AI, which Elon also owns his own version of, where AI could just be like, no, king, it's actually awesome that Elon has that kind of money. And people are like, yes, it's actually awesome that Elon has that kind of money.
Yeah, well, I mean, people are dating their AI, so, you know, if they don't want to get in a fight with their girlfriend, they have.
That's what I mean. These people, we're so fucked. We don't even know how bad it's going to get. Because, like, the AI psychosis and shit like that is just the first stage of the problem. I think that there are, like, that's just the tip of the iceberg. We are not even ready for how bad things are going to get yet. Honestly.
Wow. I am going to cry this stream.
Yeah.
We're going to go 3 for 3.
Speaking of tremendous power in the hands of corporations that seek to fuck over the little guy, Bricks and Minifigs Saga is getting a finale by the likes of Coffeezilla, the internet's greatest investigative reporter, perhaps the only remaining investigative reporter out there. He got involved in the situation, and he found the $200,000 missing Lego. So let's take a look.
A $200,000 Lego collection went missing, causing a lot of you to ask me to find it. And after seeing the cops point guns at YouTubers, people get arrested and sued for $1.3 million, I decided enough like a case for the internet detective. This time in the $10 million Lego studio. So I talked to every suspect involved. What I found shocked me. Okay, before we can find these missing Legos, let's give some background. A massive Star Wars collection was put on consignment at a Lego store called Bricks and Minifigs in Salem, Oregon. Consignment just means the owner, Brian Mansell, gave it to a store to sell, and he was supposed to get a cut when it sold. The entire time he made...
Chat, the reason why you can't hear us is because we're muted. I love that chat immediately spammed way too dank and started spamming echo as soon as it happened. So then I muted us so that they don't hear the feedback.
Okay. I'm another streamer guest. I understand. I know you have normies on a lot that don't get it. The audio perverts will break. It's by 1,000 cuts.
It's crazy.
Fingers and toes.
It's crazy. But it took like literally 3 seconds for them to immediately go, you muted yourself. Hey, streamer.
Let it out.
You're muted.
It out, King. Let it out. Look what you did. Look what you did. Audio perverts.
Oh my God. It's echo and muted, echo and muted, echo muted, muted, echo, echo.
Bro, if Elon really wanted to fuck your shit up, all he had to do is make a bot that just complains about your audio all day, and he might break your mind, bro.
I know. I'm not strong enough for this.
Just 100 bots that spam way too dank all day.
That's low-key. One of the things that people always talk about nowadays in the interviews that I keep doing is like, how do you deal with this shit? Like, you're getting attacked by governments, you're getting attacked by the entirety of right-wing media, and I don't have the heart to tell them that
it's
like
the audio perverts.
No, I don't have the heart to tell them that like I've tested my mettle in the worst marketplace of ideas. Twitch chat. I deal with fans. I deal with lovers and fans, legions of admiring fans who make me want to every day.
That's okay.
So I'm used to it. Israel's got nothing on you, bro.
Let it out. Let that shit out.
Chad is my biggest op.
They just want, listen, they're all wearing headphones, okay? Their ears are sensitive.
I know, dude, try having to entertain and educate 30,000 autistic man-children for one day, and you will understand quickly that New York Post got nothing on it.
Hey, women children and MB children, too.
That's true. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me before they got to it.
Jesus Christ.
Thank you for correcting me before they got to it.
Damn it, Hasan. Can you be inclusive for once in your life?
Anyway, let's continue.
Maintained ownership of the collection, and a social media post estimated it to be worth about $200,000. But then on November 14th, 2024, everything went wrong. This was the night that Crystal and Ben Gorman, the prior franchise owners of the Salem store, got kicked out by this guy.
By the way, you can tell that the previous store owners were woke, and they wouldn't stand for this.
What would indicate that? The
eyebrow horns.
The eyebrow subdermal.
Because in Utah, it goes only in one direction. Like, if you're either some of the most base people,
right, or
you're literally you're a Mormon chud. And Reckless Ben and Brian Mansell got to see both sides of that world, you know? They got to experience both of those guys.
The cut when it sold. The entire time, he maintained ownership of the collection, and a social media post estimated it to be worth about $200,000. Night that Crystal and Ben Gorman, the prior franchise owners of the Salem store, got kicked out by this guy. That is Brandon Best. He and his partner Josh Johnson ran a sister store in Eugene, Oregon, and Brandon drove up that night to kick the Gormans out. Brandon and Josh would be taking over the franchise in Salem. And this is
very different vibes with the new ownership, if you noticed.
Yeah,
that dynamic definitely persists here, you know? And people were saying that the previous bookstore, the previous owners of Bricks and Minifigs were like publishing anarcho-communist books and stuff. So
what?
That tracks. They look the part.
That's crazy.
They do look the part. I'm judging books by the cover, man. I'm doing it. I'm judging all the books by all the covers. Fuck it.
I actually feel so disheartened by this whole story because I don't know if you know this. My nieces are very into Lego. And we would go to a Bricks and Minifigs whenever I was in town. And I felt like a superhero.
It's BDS now.
Yeah.
It's not. You still go. They're different franchises.
I feel bad because like that was like a highlight for them every time I came out, is we'd go pick out a set and build it together. But now I feel kind of dirty about it.
Nah, it's fine. It's still Lego at the end of the day. They literally said they left America because they thought Trump presidency would make them targets due to their publishing company. Oh my God. Oh, they are that based. Okay, that's fire.
This is the exact moment the Legos go missing. As that store is getting handed over, the question is Brian's collection in it? Here's what the official Bricks and Minifigs press release
Oh,
reads.
he's dope.
Quote,
Was Charlemagne nice to you?
Yeah, he was super nice.
That's crazy.
He said he's a democratic socialist.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know when they were gonna release it though. It wasn't live. It wasn't like one of the live tapings that they did. It was.
You have an echo. You have an echo.
I'm gonna
fix your sound.
I'm gonna turn on a video game for the first time ever, so I can kill myself in a video game. Chat. You're so funny. You're so funny. Is it way too dank? Is it way too dank? I'll show you something that's way too dank.
Please, chat, please.
Oh my God, baited. Lol, omega lol, we baited you.
Taking over the store, we discovered a small number of sets valued between $2,000 to $5,000 that could be possibly related to Mr. Mansell's collection. But there's a problem here. There should be over 10 times that amount in this store, given their internal records and what we know the estimated value of this collection was. So if corporate's saying there was only $2,000 to $5,000 in the store, something happened to these Legos. But what? In order to solve this case, let's think about the suspects. First, who was there that night of the handover? It's only 3 people. Crystal and Ben Gorman, the former franchise owners, and Brandon Best, one of the new owners. These are our 3 biggest suspects, but they aren't the only ones. I want to address a few other suspects.
Yeah, bro, this is the multi-billion-dollar compound where he's doing crazy.
The production on this one went crazy.
Yeah, he's got even Lego pieces. It's all coming together. Will's acting way too chill after crashing out on us every single one of his own streams for the last full year. Yeah, you deserve it.
That guy's never been in one of my streams. Fuck that! No, I'm just kidding. I'm so patient with my chat. What the hell?
Yeah, well, this is a different demon here.
At the very start here. First of all, maybe this is just all the result of, plain old thieves breaking in. What about that possibility?
Hi, I am Chris. I was the previous franchise owner who signed the collection agreement with Brian Mansell.
And I'm Benjamin Gorman. I am the silent partner who's really bad at being silent.
We did have a couple of break-ins at the store. None of Brian's collections were in the police report or stolen during those.
Okay, so the Gormans say emphatically it wasn't thieves, but if that's the case, what about the guy who was arrested? I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Reckless Ben. This is the YouTuber who started it all. With a documentary, I tracked down the thief who stole $200,000 of Lego. Maybe it's the perfect crime. Make a video tracking yourself. Now, for our theory, it's worth noting Ben is currently facing a RICO lawsuit by Bricks and Minifigs. He was even targeted with a search warrant for stolen Legos.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
The owner reported overhearing conversations about possible stolen Legos.
And on top of that, Reckless Ben was even accused of stealing the Legos by the current franchise owner.
I stole the Legos?
What do you think of the theory that it was Reckless Ben? He stole the Legos.
It's absurd. We didn't even know Reckless Ben. He had no interaction, no relation to us, no relation to the store. That doesn't hold any water.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Apologies to the genius cops in Utah who play different.
We play differently here.
But I don't believe that Reckless Ben stole the Lego, mostly because he couldn't. He just wasn't there that night, and I don't even think he knew about these Legos. But who does Ben suspect is holding the Legos since he did this whole documentary series?
The guy who runs the entire company, Eamon McNeff, he personally came out to talk to us.
So what's going on?
So you guys are holding some of our Legos?
Second if you want, but hold on. I'm gonna add this. Hold on. There's no mic right now.
There's no mic right now?
I'm just, hold on. 1 second. One more second.
No, we're not.
You're not?
No.
Is that a lie?
No.
Okay. Oh no. There's dual audio. They're gonna be really annoyed.
Oh God.
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna fix it. How do you fix it? Like this?
Oh God.
Maybe this. Oh, this is it. All right, fixed it. All right, we're good.
Chat, can you hear us?
Yeah. It should be good now.
Okay. I just wanted to clear the record. It's not lost on me that the main antagonist from this whole saga is called McNeff and has the same facial hair I do. It's a really bad look for the Neff family.
It's a bad look for the D'Artagnan.
Real. Yeah.
It's a bad look for the D'Artagnan as well, I'll be honest. Echo, you're muted, mono audio. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's good now, right? I think it should be good now. I believe we fixed the fix me after that, please. I wish I could fix the entire chat in the same way.
All right. Okay. All right.
Okay. All right.
That's a lie. You did take the Legos.
There will be a little bit of echo, but it won't be as bad as it was before with the shotgun mic. Okay, just so we're clear.
So we have our attorneys have visited. Like again. So who's
Brian Mansell.
Okay, and who's that?
He's a guy who had he had like $200,000 worth of Legos in your guys' store.
Never happened.
My name is Eamon McNeff. I am the CEO of the Bricks and Minifigs brand.
So my name is Matt McNeff. I'm the COO of Bricks and Minifigs.
Another McNeff?
You have a lot to account for.
This is really bad.
Yeah.
Oh God, this is really.
With the D'Artagnan beard mustache combo too, it's just.
This is like if a family of pikers with small heads showed up and started besmirching your name.
I know.
I might never recover from this.
Nope, you're cooked, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over.
we the Neffs do not endorse the behavior of the McNeffs. It's a separate red-headed tribe. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just putting the mic somewhere better.
Okay.
So they can, so that it's,
nice,
not falling off my chest. I have a large head, so we would make a normal size head babies. Oh my God, half the chat is horny, and the other half is horny for pain.
The best part is I feel like that was probably a dude too.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
I feel like that's just a gay man being like, I got a big head, you got a small head, let's...
Mpreg.
Yeah,
Mpreg,
let's do some Mpreg.
Mpreg. We'll move this here. Okay, boom.
All right, let's do this.
Okay, fix the camera and everything.
Yep.
What do you think of the flamingo revolution currently happening in Albania? Trump's daughter bought an island in Albania. I am not going to be talking about that right now, but yes, I've seen it. More power to the Albanians.
The people you just saw are the McNeff brothers. They agreed to speak with me to try to clear their name. I asked them, do they have the Legos?
What I can tell you is that we don't have it. We've never had access to them.
It seems to kind of go missing, parts of it seem to go missing on November 14th. Well, and I guess no, not at all. I'm going to say, you know, like that is not accurate at all. Because...
So you think that the collection was in the store at the time or elsewhere?
Elsewhere. When you look at Mansell's own words that he reiterated to a podcast last year, he explicitly stated to another podcaster, the sets were moved off-site for security.
The collection will not be stored on site after.
Dude, why is this the biggest heist of all time? I don't even understand. Just give the Legos back. Like, what? Am I crazy? Why? This became such an incident for no decipherable reason. I don't understand why these guys in the middle were just like, oh, we'll hit a lick here. And that lick was $200,000 worth. That's grand larceny.
Yeah, I don't know why this has gotten so out of control, especially because Reckless Ben gave them so many opportunities to just be like, hey, we actually, they were in the back of the storeroom. Like crazy random happenstance, but I feel like it just keeps getting worse and worse.
Legos are big money. Yeah, but this is a multi-million-dollar company, man. It's not like, I don't think they're nickeling and diming in this one store. Maybe I'm wrong, but 200K is like 2 Lego sets? Okay, dude, I don't think Lego inflation
No, it's like 2 Warhammer sets.
Yeah. Okay, well, I feel like the Strait of Hormuz is closed, but I don't think it ruined the Lego market or the Warhammer market that bad.
Right.
Yeah. Mormons never admit when they're wrong. I don't think this is like a Mormon thing either.
For security reasons, and after Sunday, the sets will be available for purchase but stored elsewhere.
Now, one thing that's been a big subject of the Bricks and Minifigs kind of story is, hey, there are these off-site locations. Can you address what that is? Is that true?
So the off-site location in the letter that that corporate is referring to is the original press release that we released when we were launching the collection. In that press release, because we had previous break-ins, I specifically included the location that after this weekend, those Legos would be stored off-site to deter any future thefts.
This is actually kind of crazy, and I don't know if you've been tracking this at all, but collectibles, like high scale, like heists of expensive collectibles has been absolutely exploding, particularly in Los Angeles, where like almost every Pokemon hobby store in the greater Los Angeles area has been robbed within like the last 2 years. And there's one in Sawtell that was robbed. They stole like $200,000 worth of stuff. They redid all the security, blah, blah, blah. The next time they robbed it, they threw a brick through the second story window and then used like ninja grappling hooks to scale the facade of the building to rob Pokemon stuff from them.
I don't even understand. I don't even, dude. I mean, I guess, you know, you got to get it wherever you can, huh? It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a crazy phenomenon right now. I think it's just because it's so valuable and people understand the value, and it's like these stores that sell hobby stuff aren't used to have that's like millions of dollars.
Yeah. Shout out Logan Paul. Overnight, He just made these hobby stores into viable targets.
Briefly stored off-site after that launch weekend while I bought safes for the back room, and then they were moved back into the store.
Okay, so for most of the
Not all of us can work, and not all of us can stream. We have to work for a living. Yeah, work to fucking rob hobby stores at gunpoint.
High value Lego heists.
I mean, I was talking about how we got to get back to like, cool heists. I didn't realize that. I meant like, Ocean's 11. I didn't realize we were doing Ocean's 11 to fucking bricks and minifigs.
Can you imagine if they did, like, instead of the Italian Job, they did the Johto Job, and it's just a heist movie where they steal Pokemon cards?
Yeah, they just go up to counters and cash registers and they're like, give me all the Pokemon cards.
We could use Christian as the grease man. You know how in Ocean's 11 they have a grease man who's like all bendy?
Yeah. We can put him in a bag. In a
bag?
That's what they did to the
What the fuck?
That's what they did. In Ocean's 11, that's what they did.
He's in a crate, bro. He's not in a bag.
I thought they put him in like a roller backpack or something. Am I misremembering?
I thought you meant like a tote bag.
Yeah.
We put him in a Trader Joe's tote.
Fuck it. We'll put him in a tote bag. He can fit. We can make it happen.
Time, the sets were in the store after y'all got the safes in.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so Ammon McNeff suspects that a lot of the Legos weren't there that night. And then on the other hand, we just heard from Crystal and Ben Gorman explaining the off-site story, saying that later they no longer used those off-site locations. But what do we really know about the Gormans? They are the former franchise owners after all. I mean, shouldn't we be suspicious of everyone? They're one of our key suspects. They were there the night we lost Brian's collection. They were the creators of the consignment deal after all. And one group in particular is pointing their finger at them very hard. It's the McNeffs who say they were behind on payments.
Name,
we started getting calls from the landlord letting us know that Crystal was behind on...
What if the McNeffs are the main villains of the story, by the way?
Yeah, dude, it's not looking good for the McNeffs.
Yeah, because they're playing this sweet role right now. Like, oh, look at me, I got the D'Artagnan. My last name is McNeff. I'm not a scary guy. I'm here to reveal everything to you. And then you find out that they were actually doing a rounding error or some shit at the end.
Fuck, they're just
they were the main villains all along. I mean, he has a mischievous mustache.
They're turning on the old McNeff charm.
This is the mustache of a man who's capable of tremendous mischief.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
Let's not come after. It's not the mustache's fault.
I don't know. It could be the mustache.
And it's not the family name.
It feels like the mustache is controlling him.
Let's
He's become
not
more mustache than
bad
man.
Apples.
Chud the Builder too.
Okay, come on.
I mean, how many examples do you need to see and prominently display in media?
Okay. This is
the lease payments at the location. We had also gotten a couple of notices from some of our vendor partners that bills had not been paid by the store. And so we felt pretty strongly that there was going to be a risk of her just, like attempting to file bankruptcy, doing some of these other types of things, which we've had franchisees do in the past, and that's problematic. So that's why we sent him up there to take some video footage. So we needed to just be prepared if we needed to do a hostile takeover, which, can happen in franchising where a franchise owner just, kind of tries to steal inventory and do some different things that way.
Okay, so Bricks and Minifig's story is that they were worried about the Gormans skipping town, so they sent Brandon Best as a secret shopper on October 24th, 2024. This is weeks before the takeover. Brandon takes a video of the store condition in preparation for this handover, but at this point, Brandon does not announce himself to Crystal Gorman. Later, though, on November 14th, once again, the same concern about the Gormans stealing or theft was expressed by the McNeffs.
Brandon was trying to make sure that they weren't taking things from the store, and so he was kind of trying to make sure that he wasn't putting things, like hiding things in the back, and that and while he was watching that, trying to make sure Ben wasn't grabbing stuff from the store and moving it or doing anything along those lines. Because he just got a weird feeling about the whole transition.
She took at least one, if not more than one, cartfuls of things out to her car with her coat draped over it.
So yeah, the McNeffs say, look, they don't trust the Gormans. And they explained it, even further. They said, hey, there's some issues in her past.
She apparently has a retail theft and other criminal arrests on her record that we were not aware of.
When was that?
I don't know. This has been brought out by several people online now.
Now look, that's a huge accusation to bring.
Oh my God, bro. They're fucking blaming the commies? The fuck?
Everyone always blames the commies.
How could you trust any Nev after this? Seriously, I agree. Not a trustworthy guy.
A different name.
Yeah.
Different name.
Well, Mick Neff is almost like a smaller version of Big Neff, which would mean, bigger the Neff, bigger the crime, possibly?
No.
Like a Mick Mansion is a smaller version of a mansion.
No, listen.
And Mick Neff is like doing lower level
Different
crimes.
Mick Neff, totally different name. Neff, my name comes from the name Naif.
Yeah.
Which was changed at Ellis Island.
Yeah, this is
I'm a victim of Ellis Island.
This is a Mick Neff.
Grouping redheads together. More systematic violence to my people.
You guys do look kind of similar.
Well, you're propagating a lot lot of racism right now.
Anti-white racism.
Go ahead, say you people. Say regular.
Wait, this is a good question. Doesn't Will call his community the villains?
Arch villains, correct.
The biggest villains. Not even like a regular low-level villain.
All right, you know what?
But the arch.
We're gonna blow past this.
Okay.
Up, and so obviously I wanted to talk to the Gormans about it. They're like, she has a history of some type of burglary, theft.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, that's what they're
saying.
Okay, what? Okay, wow.
Oh. Well, yes.
Well,
you know about this.
Explain.
Yeah, when I was 19 years old.
How long ago is that?
I am 45 now.
She looks great.
This was in 1999. This, something that happened 25 years ago, has no reflection and no bearing on what happened in the last 2 years, my management of the store, what happened the night corporate seized the store. It is another deflection, and it infuriates me. You're gonna try to publicly embarrass and shame me for somebody that was manipulated by local police departments when she was pregnant and 19 years old? Fuck you. That's my response to that. I am so sorry. You're gonna have to blur and cut a lot of this, but that pisses me off. I own what I have done. I own the mistakes that I have made. You cannot intimidate and bully me into backing down when I know that legally and morally I am in the right and I have the evidence to back it up.
Wow, this is getting kind of nasty and personal at this point, and I just wanted to give people kind of their side. But at every turn, I hope you understand, I'm getting contradictory stories, down to if the McNeffs knew about her history in the first place.
Like, they're bringing up something that I told them about.
Wait, you told them?
Told them. They asked me.
They said they had no idea. They said if we knew, we would have never hired her.
Because we would not have hired her had we known this.
I told them I had a record from when I was 18. There was a family issue and didn't go into all of the details, but they were like, that's so long ago, we're gonna hire you based on who you are now.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. You guys can make up your own mind. My point is, one side says up, the other says down, and it gets to the point both sides start hinting that they have photographic proof from the night of November 14th that proves the other side is lying. So I'm like, look, at this point, let's stop talking. Show me the Legos.
Kind of like a murder mystery.
I know, but I side with the commies 100%.
Where do you think the Legos are, though? Do you think it's the McNeffs?
No, I think it's gonna be the dumbest art. It's gonna be literally the dumbest, like, corporate accounting error at the end or something like that, where they just like they either sold it and didn't realize that they sold it.
You think it's a clerical error? You think there's no malice?
That is the dumbest version of events. So I'm gonna go with it's the dumbest version of events that happens in corporations all the time. It's a part of the shrink. Ironically enough, shrink accounts for clerical errors and things of that nature. And on top of that, it also factors in like theft, retail theft from the people that work there.
I think, okay, I don't think you fold $200,000 in by accident. I think you can cover your ass by saying it was an accident. I don't think it was an accident. I think it was the new franchisees when they came in.
In the exchange of ownership, in the chaos of it all, they thought they could hit a lick.
Yeah, they thought they could hit a lick, and they thought in the shuffle that they could bury it, and then they could move on.
Or even funnier. These Legos they really liked. They didn't even sell it. He's like moving. He's
just building the slave 2 in his basement. Like, they'll never take you away, Boba Fett.
Yeah.
You and I will bounty hunt the galaxy forever.
Yeah, and like when the camera pans back to him, he's like holding the Lego pieces. Like, this is a different set. I know how this looks. This looks really bad. It looks exactly like the Lego set that is allegedly stolen or definitely stolen, not by me. Okay, and this is a totally separate set.
Yes.
And it's nothing to do with anything.
Dude, the McNaffs get done with the interview and immediately pull the hood up and they're like, yes, they will never understand the power of the dark side.
Yeah.
Execute Order 66.
The new owners have to pay the corporate for the takeover of the franchise. By stealing the Legos, the value of the franchise is lower and they pay corporate less. That makes sense.
But I was told we are 100% have possession of photos that prove that the Gormans are lying. And then you guys are telling me we 100% have possession of photos that prove.
Well, then why don't they just
this
send these
side's
photos
lying.
right away?
Who's going to drop the photos first? I mean, I feel like someone just has to. Somebody's right here. And after a lot of convincing, both sides agreed to show me the photos, corporate and the Gormans. In fact, I scheduled the calls to do this an hour apart from each other. But let's remember their positions for a second. The Gormans say whatever was left unsold of Brian's collection that was in that store spreadsheet was in Salem store the night of November 14th. Then you have corporate side. They say whatever was left that night was maybe $2,000 to $5,000 of Legos. The rest was either stolen by thieves, the Gormans, or held off site. It was not in that store. And on both sides, there's a lot to lose here, right? You've got the Gormans, who basically have been insinuated to have been stealing. And for Josh and Brandon too, the new franchise owners, there's a lot on the line. I reached out to Josh and he told me, I think her pictures would only show a few sets and minifigs. I replied, so if I can prove that the Lego sets were in the store, that will prove Brandon was lying? Josh replies, if it shows something different, then yes, I will eat my words. So the stakes have been established. And let's see the evidence, starting with Matt McNeff. First, he showed me the video, October 24, 2024, for a baseline of how the store looked. So this is the Salem Kaiser location, is that correct?
Salem Kaiser location, yes.
So is it fair to say I'm seeing quite a few Legos here? I mean, I'm seeing a store of Legos. You'd agree?
There's a good amount of Lego on hand. This isn't what I would say is a well-stocked bricks and minifigs, but it's not.
What? Look at that shelf. What is he? What are the McNaffs insinuating?
He knows better, dude.
There is not an inch of shelf space there that is not Lego.
This guy, you know what this reminds me of? It's like when they do like those, like variety YouTube videos where they're like a former heist boss it covers, new crime. But in this circumstance, it's the guy who might have actually done the crime that's like, yeah.
Well, it looks a little sparse. That looks sparse? I'm gonna be honest, compared to the bricks and minifigs I went into, it looks the exact same.
Terrible. It's I would say a little below average as far as overall stock. So now let's go to November 14th. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So November 14th, when Brandon was in there helping.
Wait, this is the day. This is like the big day.
This is the day.
Oh. Hold on, I gotta hurt myself emotionally for this.
Okay.
This is a big deal. This is D-Day. This is the big moment. This is Brandon takes over the store. We don't know where the Legos are after this moment.
We don't know where the Legos are after this moment. And I want to point out again that we've had this for a while.
Every once in a while, I'm reminded that we are fucking talking about Legos.
No, this is the crime of the century, dude.
I mean, yeah.
When the internet hyperfixates on something, though, it does have a tendency to make it like the much larger, much more consequential issue. And I guess in this circumstance, there is like a real victim here, so it's good that this investigation is ongoing.
Yeah.
First time
I want to sick Reckless Ben on like I don't know, fucking bad landlords or something.
How about
like corporate
campaign
landlords.
finance reform?
No, literally no. I actually I want to deploy Reckless Ben like a fucking weapon against like some of the more powerful institutions in this country to see if we can on an issue that I'm not saying the bricks and minifig saga is not consequential, but perhaps a little bit more consequential.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Listen, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, Reckless Ben versus Canary Mission. Yeah, like the Israeli doxing operation.
Yeah. Also, would you ever build Warhammer with me? I kind of caught the bug.
Dude, there's no way. I can't hold on to tiny pieces like that.
You need the tool. You need the right tools.
I feel like I get really annoyed when I have to I can't hyper focus on. I've tried building stuff before.
Right.
Like model cars and shit, and it just like makes me so angry, and then I just smash it.
What?
I mean, I don't actually smash it, but I want to.
Do it.
No, literally.
Execute orders.
Have you ever? You've never gotten that feeling when you're like trying to put something together and it doesn't work, and you're like, ah!
Yes,
and you want to fucking smash it with your
yes,
hand.
There's quite a bit of frustration there.
Yeah, that's what I can't do it. Like I go ogre mode. Reckless Ben versus Minnesota Fraud, reported by Nick Shirley. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Shown this publicly. We've been waiting
here we go.
for our attorneys to give us the approval to say, hey, this is okay now to share in this capacity. So we'll go through these pictures. This is what Josh saw, or not Josh, sorry, Brandon saw. He took pictures of everything in the store, all the inventory in the store.
Oh.
This is what the shelves look like compared to what you just saw a moment ago.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm seeing a lot less. Just to state the obvious, go back a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm seeing like way less. So yeah, the pictures I was being shown on November 14th, those shelves looked emptier than they did on the day of October 24th. But to be fair to the Gormans, they addressed the empty shelves themselves.
As we get to the very end of this video in particular, right here, you'll see that empty space right here. So this is the retired and certified set section that we have to keep separate from the new in box current sets being sold by Lego. All those empty spaces up there were the sets that we had on display during the day from Brian's collection that every night when the store closed, we pulled off and put back into the safe and then put back out in the morning.
So when they say, see, there's empty space on the shelves, yeah, because we put them in safes at night to keep them safe.
Because we have giant windows.
Yeah, it's an explanation that kind of makes sense given the history of burglary. Now, of course, this is something I had to ask the McNeffs about. Is this a case of, did y'all see Star Wars sets in the back? Did y'all not see the Star Wars sets in the back? Did he take, not in the back, but specifically in a safe? Like there were a bunch of Star Wars sets in a safe. Did Brandon see those? Has there been talk of those? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. My understanding is that he took pictures of everything, and all those photos I showed you of the Star Wars were all the photos, or was literally all the Star Wars inventory in the store.
Yeah, the McNeffs say all of the photos should be with Brandon of all the Star Wars items. And to be fair to them, they showed me a lot more pictures and even showed me a spreadsheet of all the Star Wars sets in the store the night Brandon took it over. And it valued to about like $5,000 to $10,000 or so. But then I had to ask.
It's not 200,000.
Here's another kind of set.
Okay.
Do you think y'all have all of these?
Very likely.
Okay.
Again, I'd be surprised if we didn't.
But then I couldn't help myself. I started to bring up some of Crystal's photos to see if they matched up. Have you seen this before?
Not that I recall.
So do you see that?
Yep.
So do you see it's in like some kind of like a safe thing? I don't know if you can see the sides there.
Looks like a bookshelf to me, but sure.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So I think
okay, Mr. Neff.
Whoa, whoa.
Mr. Neff.
McNaff.
Yeah. Easy mistake to make.
Well,
not a mistake that we'll let slide on this day. I'm just saying.
All right. Let's be a little bit more careful about the McNaff name.
What the fuck is a Duplo? I didn't even know that there's like different kind of, is that a different version of a Lego?
I think that's like baby Legos that you can't choke on.
Okay.
Are you the throat goat? Are you saying
that's what
you'd like to challenge
That's
Duplo
what you think,
to
dude.
choke on the...
Fucking down that shit.
Wow, holy...
I'd fucking down that shit, dude.
God.
I'd choke on that shit real quick.
Jesus Christ.
The important thing is making sure that all of these are in the inventory for Mansell.
Sure. That's good.
75041?
Yep. The Vulture Droid.
75169.
169 I'm not seeing, so there may be, okay. So there's one that is not on our list.
Let's try this. 10240?
Okay, nope, not seeing that one either.
What about 9493?
I don't see that one either. So Maybe those were locked at the time, and Brandon did not get those pictures.
All right, that's kind of a problem because the Gormans had over 200 photos of this store. I definitely knew looking at these photos, there's a lot more Legos in the Gormans photos, by quite a lot that Brandon's photos just didn't show. But corporate didn't really see it that way.
But still, in the grand scheme of things, we're not talking, again, 10 times the amount of sets here.
I don't know. I haven't shown all the photos yet. I don't know exactly how much.
If there's a calculable figure that we can look at and say, great, this is what was there, I promise you it's not $100,000 worth of Lego. And so where's the rest of it? You got me. I don't know.
Maybe I'm a little too in my head about this U-Haul story. You don't think it could have been some U-Haul thing? There's no way. Oh, yeah. Have we talked about the U-Haul yet? We gotta talk about the U-Haul for a second. This is another one of those things that was like really disputed between the two parties. Was this U-Haul that supposedly was driven up to the store the night of the takeover.
What? So when Brandon came to the store that night,
wait a minute.
What do you? Yeah, and the guys were wearing, the guys that look like the McNeffs were seemingly wearing balaclavas, and they were like, we're here to deliver special delivery.
I love how we're on video 18 and he's like, the only discrepancy in the story was the 18 masked men that rode up in a giant wooden horse.
Yeah, what the fuck? Wait, how, this is information that I feel like is fairly important to figure out who the fuck was doing this.
He was driving a U-Haul truck.
Now,
It was
in typical
literally.
fashion, this was immediately disputed.
Brandon showed up to the Salem store in a rental car. When he came to get the keys from Crystal.
Well, the U-Haul's a type of rental car.
Yeah.
Was there in a rental car, not in a U-Haul.
It wasn't until after he told me he was taking the keys and locking me out that I really kind of paid attention to the fact that he had a large, not the small, the large U-Haul truck.
So yeah, I just kept hearing about this U-Haul truck. Now, why is it significant, U-Haul or not? Well, one, a U-Haul truck can fit a lot of Legos, but the big reason it mattered to me was because I was actually called by an ex-employee of the Bricks and Minifix store in Eugene, Oregon. Remember, that's the one that Brandon and Josh own. And he told me something very interesting.
I'm a former employee, started in 2020.
Stop. Lego deep throat. It's
Streets, man.
Fuck, man.
In these goddamn brick streets, these Lego brick streets.
I can't believe this.
Yeah. Turns out they've done this before and they'll do it again if we don't stop them.
This is incredible. It goes all the way to the top.
Yeah.
What store was this? Bricks and Minifigs, where? Okay, now what did you see that made you want to talk to me?
I saw Reckless Benz. I was talking to my co-workers about the situation about Salem, other employees, that it was just an area to work in. It was like haunted, if you will, is what was going around.
Haunted?
It was bad. We exposed them, and it makes a lot more sense. Josh, like, Crystal, stole Lego sets and bolted out of the country.
Who says that?
Ghost?
When he was jumping up all the Lego sets to us that night. There was a bunch of used Lego sets. That's that were like saran wrap. They had Star Wars CD. They just a lot of stuff. It was like a medium-sized U-Haul truck.
Wait, they brought a U-Haul truck.
Yeah, from Salem to Eugene.
And to Eugene, and it had a bunch of Star Wars sets on it?
Yeah, Star Wars sets, like everything.
Who did this?
Wait, when?
Brandon.
And was this when they took over the store from Crystal?
So yes.
They were like, hey, can't believe the previous store owner stole this exact U-Haul's worth of Lego sets that we just seemingly got, that fell off the back of another U-Haul truck, actually.
I fuck heavy with the haunted excuse. They're going full Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
We would have gotten away with it if it wasn't
Much like Scooby-Doo, you pulled the fucking balaclava off, it's Brandon McNeff.
Said to Crystal, the country.
While he has a U-Haul of Legos?
Yeah.
Interesting. Weird.
So, and he's like, we're just gonna hold on to this stuff until corporate tells us where we have to go.
Wait, they are
make more
corporate.
sense if we could take because we're kind of struggling with, the process.
Oh my gosh, we really gotta find out. Was there a U-Haul that night or not? Because everybody's disagreeing about it. This Eugene, Oregon guy says, oh yeah, a U-Haul showed up with Star Wars sets in it. Brandon was talking about the
no
Salem
one's
store.
disagreeing.
You've got
Only the
Matt
Brandon
McNabb
McNabbs are
saying there
disagreeing.
was no U-Haul there. It was a rental car. You've got Crystal saying, yeah, I thought it was really weird. There was a U-Haul truck there. So I told the McNabbs, I really gotta find out what the truth is here. If you know anything about it, let me know, because that's just something I heard.
I do, and it has nothing to do with the Salem store. Well, at least not the Salem store in the way that it is there. Brandon showed up to the Salem.
What does that even mean? Not the Salem store in the way that it is there?
The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
So they did go to the Salem store with a U-Haul truck, and he's out here trying to cook up a story on the... Also, a U-Haul truck is a rental car, so technically he's doing legalese here. Like, oh, well, I wasn't lying, it is a...
Right.
He's got to investigate the U-Haul store to see, to hit the fucking records.
Store in a rental car. When he came to get the keys from Crystal, he was there in a rental car, not in a U-Haul.
So when there was the handoff, there wasn't a U-Haul, it was a rental car.
Correct. He was there in a rental car.
Got it. Okay.
And I think any of the, like, if you were to look at the footage, the Ring cameras, all that stuff, you won't see a U-Haul sitting anywhere in the parking lot.
So after hearing all of this, I realized, look, I just gotta find the evidence. So I start sifting through these photos I have, right? I realize I have a parking lot photo. I check it. No U-Haul, just a red truck out there. I check another photo where you can see the window, but the problem is it's night outside, so you can't see. And so I'm looking at everything I can, and there's just nothing, I have this alternate angle, I'm looking at that, and then...
Oh!
What is that?
Smoking gun!
That's a U-Haul truck!
Holy...
Oh, no!
Holy shit!
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God!
Oh, my God.
I feel like I just watched the end of The Sixth Sense, dude. That was like a jump scare.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Bring up the brightness of this photo a little bit, and... My gosh. There's a U-Haul in the parking lot right outside of the store the night of November 14th, 2024. This is something that Matt said he had seen footage of, and it couldn't be true.
And again, I believe I have seen footage from that night that shows clearly out into the parking lot, and there's no U-Haul.
After seeing this, I said, I really have to make a call. And that's when the story changed. So last night, I talked with Matt McNeff, question of the U-Haul.
Interesting.
He told me emphatically there was no U-Haul. Y'all came to me this morning.
Told you,
said,
by the
hey,
way, that the commies were the fucking trustworthy partners
right
here.
all along.
And the Neffs. You can't trust the dastardly...
McNeffs.
The dastardly Neffs.
Okay, another clerical error there, just for, for the sake of any other...
continuity purposes, right?
Similar sounding names.
Yeah.
McNeffs.
Similar sounding facial hair.
There are plenty upstanding Neffs, including a professional Frisbee player.
Interesting. What kind of mustache is he rocking?
I don't know that.
Is it the D'Artagnan?
I think he's clean shaven.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the other Neff who's noticeably absent from this conversation does not have that. It's the D'Artagnan combo.
We looked into it. There actually was a U-Haul there that night. Can you clear up what that's about?
So there's actually two different things that are going on here, just to help you understand.
Help you understand.
And I don't know if you want this particularly not on the record, but
okay.
This dude is choking.
Yes. Why do these guys always think that they can... There's two guys that you don't talk to if you have done something bad. Isaac Chotiner of The New Yorker, who always cooks every Israeli official for some reason, who's like, yeah, no, I'll have a conversation with you. And then they end up coming across like, Adolf Hitlerites every single time. And Coffeezilla, if you've done a crime, a financial crime, a Ponzi scheme, some kind of cryptocurrency initiative, just don't talk to Coffeezilla. Now, obviously, I want them to continue talking to Coffeezilla, but I genuinely don't understand why they keep doing it. I guess like there's something that you have in your mind when you're like wheeling and dealing and scheming of this sort, where you think like, oh, I can out-talk them. Yeah. I have a solid reliable alibi.
Well, let's hear him out.
It never works.
He's got very trustworthy facial hair.
We do know of a disgruntled former employee that worked at another location that back on the 24th of October, there was a U-Haul that went to a storage unit in Salem for another previous franchisee, like for a different situation that we had just gone through some things, and he had a previously, like, hey, I have some inventory that I didn't turn over that I was supposed to. It's at this storage location. You guys can come pick it up. And so Brandon was sent on that day to pick up with a U-Haul inventory that then he moved down, but that was October 24th.
So when we're talking about this,
so why is there a U-Haul on the night of the exchange of ownership?
It's not adding up.
Oh, that's just a photo from October 24th, actually.
Why wouldn't Brandon McNeff mention that U-Haul too?
Yeah, interesting.
He could have cleared it.
Interesting revelation here.
Ex-employee, you're saying they are conflating the October 24th event of the U-Haul coming up to Eugene with Legos with sometime after November 14th, after the store takeover. Is that correct? Am I understanding?
Okay, but why is there a U-Haul in November 14th outside of the store in the middle of the night while the exchange and ownership is taking place? And you said there was no U-Haul. There was simply a rental.
Yes.
Oh my God,
So
bro, he looks so guilty.
Yeah, he's cooked.
He looks dead to rights, bro. Holy shit. He looks like Kaya after she ate something off the kitchen counter, and I'm like, who ate this? And she's like, not me. I could never touch food on top of the kitchen counter. Ooh.
Is now kind of a strange story. Corporate is saying there was a U-Haul at the Eugene store dropping off Lego, but that was from a different night, different collection. The CEO says Brandon showed up to Salem on October 24th for his secret shopper job with Crystal. And separately, he also was getting a different collection of Legos that also included Star Wars. And that's what he brought to the Eugene store, and the former employee is remembering. Then, weeks later, on November 14th, Brandon supposedly shows up again with a U-Haul, but the reason isn't for hauling Legos.
Brandon flew in to Eugene that night, at midnight. So flew from Utah on the 13th, but landed in Oregon on midnight of the 14th. Went and got a rental truck, and then went and stayed at a trailer that had previously been moved up there in anticipation, meaning a camper trailer, in anticipation of the potential hostile takeover previously.
Is that why he had a U-Haul? Is that the reason he had a U-Haul, was for this camper, or what's going on with the?
Yes. So then what happens is he takes his.
So there was a U-Haul there after all. Interesting revelation, Mr. Neff.
Sneaky, well, McNeff.
Mr.
I can't. I feel like a professional newsman, you keep this clerical error you're making is
classic
super,
mistake.
It's important to understanding the entire story.
Just another ginger guy whose last name is Neff.
I feel like it's
or
irresponsible
Neff
for someone who does news
with
for a living.
Similar facial
to just
hair.
drop details like that,
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Oh, Haas is on the ones and twos. He posted a "Don't trust Neff."
Okay, no. Why he was hacked.
I know.
This might not even be the Haas we know.
Dude.
This could be some dangerous.
Dude, you know what's
outsider posting salacious things.
Yeah. This motherfucker reached out to me and was over here asking if we could join
a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Yeah. He was like, we're just trying to start this game, but we're missing a last player. Can you join the group? You can leave right after if you want, or stay with us.
Right. So we can't believe anything he says.
Well, I think his, the stuff that he's doing on here.
No, these are all salacious
you
overlays.
Think that might be you think this is a hacker?
A hacker. Or,
what did it
okay,
show?
What this is, look, this is clearly not my mod.
Interesting.
My My team would never do this.
Yeah, it kind of feels like your team is...
I mean, what is that? What is this tiny house?
I don't even see that. What is that? It just says don't trust Neffs, I think, right?
That is not... The font sizes are misleading.
Bro, why are you not at Streamer U, bro? That's where the content is. What? I'm 34 years old, man.
Yeah, we're tenured.
I'm 34 years old. I've already graduated from Streamer.
What would you teach at Streamer U? How to get everybody to hate you.
I would do that. That's something that I have a PhD in.
Right.
I would probably teach people crisis management.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Because I've been involved in many.
Yeah. What would I teach at
I'm
Streamer
still
U?
here. Self-suck.
Okay, that's
stealing $200,000 worth of Lego Emperor
you know what?
Takeover
We're just gonna go back.
in exchange of ownership over a franchise, a beloved
Kai,
franchise.
if you're seeing this does not represent.
I don't know.
How
I
about
feel
film? How about film?
You could play the role of the guys.
Cameras.
You could play the role of the guys. I'm not saying you're the guy.
There was a U-Haul that night at Streamer U.
It just seems like you have experience.
Right. Okay.
I'm seeing it on screen.
Truck, and he tries to connect the trailer, the camping trailer, to that truck, and it's not rated for that particular weight, and he realized, oh crap. He called around and found that U-Haul had a rating for one of their box trucks, and so he grabbed that, went and got it at 10 a.m. on the 14th, and so he then went and hooked that trailer up to the camping trailer to a U-Haul, drove that trailer down to another location where he could set up the camping trailer in Salem, dropped off the camper trailer, and then he arrived in a U-Haul to the Salem store, and then went in, said hi to Crystal, and then as she was leaving, the door shuts, and so he locks it, calls the locksmith, takes him a while to finish up the changing of the locks. Brandon at this point is pretty exhausted, so and he has an hour drive back to Eugene to drop off the rental truck. So he drops it off at...
Can you even hook a trailer to a U-Haul?
I think so.
Also, this is a telltale sign of someone lying when they're literally fucking going overboard with the details. Like going above and beyond with the details. Classic sign. Everyone's saying yes.
Interesting.
I guess the smaller one, right? Or yes, the big one?
Defaming McNeffs. I'm gonna peek.
Midnight or 1 o'clock, something like that. Grabs the rental truck and then heads back up to
you don't want to listen to
the camper trailer in Salem. And then, it's probably gets in at around 2 or 3 in the morning. Spends a couple of, that's a little bit of sleep before he has to head back to the store at 9 a.m. before the other employees get there. The timeline that is trying to be portrayed just makes absolutely zero sense.
Okay, so I asked, obviously, for documentation of all of this from Brandon. And here's what I got. First, the U-Haul contract on November 14th. This checks out what we already know. Then I got sent a photo, the last one Brandon took in the Salem store, dated 9:44 p.m., where you can see what looks like the inside of a bird cage that the Gormans had. And lastly, I was sent a photo Brandon took of the mileage in the U-Haul as he dropped it back off at the rental place on November 15th, 12:41 a.m. Now, the time gap there is about 3 hours between the last photo in Salem to dropping the U-Haul off, which is a bit of a problem for our timeline.
Yeah, it took like 4 hours.
What up?
I mean, I went till like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, I got up early for...
He's in the bathroom pissing.
You moved 4 hours of Legos out of this truck. All right, so as weird as this U-Haul thing is, the timeline just doesn't fit, to be honest. If it took 4 hours to unload, you can't also...
Why are you in your bathrobe?
Because I just got back.
You're drunk?
Where did you get a bathrobe?
Oh,
Here.
the judgment coming from you.
I mean, sorry, I'm...
Sorry, I was out with our friends.
You're fucking up the white balance with your robe.
You're fucking up the balance.
Why do you look so tan?
Why are you asking questions?
Where did you get tan? Did you get a spray tan?
I just look like this.
Did you get
Some of us go out in the sunshine.
Did she get a spray tan?
No.
I'm just glowing naturally.
Okay.
Glowing.
All right.
Cute. Anyway, my phone is dead, so I just came to ask what the plan is before.
I think we'll finish this video and then we'll start to.
Well, we got times. Oh, never mind. We got a little bit more time.
Are you guys doing Lego stuff?
Yeah, we're doing Lego stuff.
Ah. Well, when do you want to? When do you want to do your stream?
Right after we finish this video.
Yeah.
Okay. What time are you leaving?
I don't know. We can probably go to that area and then start to figure stuff out.
Okay. Are you wearing the suit tonight? We're
Yeah.
going to a club
What? I thought we were going to a dining experience.
afterwards.
Wait, why are we going to a club? Are we? I wasn't informed
Yes,
about
we're getting
this.
very gay tonight.
I don't know how much I will partake in that because I have,
Go.
once again, as is every other day, I have
we go.
a shit ton of interviews that I have to do tomorrow morning.
Do you know it's Pride Month?
Mhm.
What have you done for Pride Month?
I've stopped
exactly.
doing hate crimes. Like I've restricted the number of anti-gay.
Oh, I didn't even know there was more than one.
I keep it to 1,000
Wow.
for
that
the month.
is
Yeah,
how homophobic
I'm
he
at
is.
994. I'm at 994. I got 6 more in the bank.
I feel like just even your attitude, me walking in here, was a slur towards me.
You're a straight woman.
I am also a Chinese woman.
That's not gay. You're just what the fuck does that have to do with Pride Month? How are you tying this back to Pride Month?
Chinese eraser? Nice.
I'm
Nice.
just saying in general, the energy that you give off.
You're white Chinese. So it's only half anti-Chinese erasure. It's more so I was being anti-Irish actually.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, that's what
Which
you
are way too frequently.
That's true.
Way too frequently.
All the time.
And the Irish.
Why are you so tan? You were not this tan yesterday.
I have been outside all day.
I literally saw you. I feel like I saw
I was
you.
listening to jazz in the park.
I saw you yesterday, and you were not this tan.
We
You
have to
gotta-
finish this video.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Oh my! You know what? Please.
Someone
Give me a hug.
wants to be the main story here.
Give me a
you
hug.
see?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
yeah.
Somebody wants to be the main story. Okay, so I should be ready by because you want to go early.
Yes. How much time do we have left in the
Oh,
video?
I'm so sorry. Yeah, you know what?
Perfect.
I will leave you all.
30 more minutes.
Perfect.
I will leave you all to these hetero
30,
men.
30 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Men
You
being
cannot be doing that in New York City.
men expressing friendship, and that's the highest order of homosexuality.
The friendship is that you have to come here to sit on his stream.
Wait, what? That's one version of it. We're doing his stream afterwards. We're going to be experiencing fine dining.
Oh wow! Look at straight men hanging out on stream. How fun!
I feel like is that
I don't know what's
jealousy?
happening.
It's,
I don't know
it's
what's
peanut
happening.
butter and jealousy.
I don't know what's happening.
It's peanut butter and jealousy.
Why is she?
Let us have man love on Pride Month, Caroline.
This is what you call man love.
Yes.
It's pathetic.
It's one expression of many.
Pathetic man love.
It's
I've
like,
seen better man
you
love.
get your hetero.
Get out of here!
Yes.
Get your
Get out of here!
hetero ass out of here.
I will be getting ready for
Ruining the gay vibes on Pride
Take
Month.
your bathrobe. Why is she in a bathrobe?
I don't know what's going on. Why did she get a spray tan?
I don't know.
It looks good. Okay, I think she's gone. All right, this was
in?
I let her in. I don't know. I thought she said she didn't have a phone. She said her phone was dead.
Did she take the room key?
Yes. Yes, she did. Okay, no, she had her own room key, I guess.
To drive to another city,
No,
load
mine's
and unload, and
I
drop
looked.
off the U-Haul in that time. But still, even if this is true, it's pretty weird. And it's one of the most bizarre stories I've ever heard, to have a U-Haul thing back to back. One of the times you're picking up Legos, the other time you're not, you're taking a camper.
She's the only one bringing gay vibes. She's not. We're literally gayer than her.
It's okay.
Nevertheless, without more proof, we kind of have to move on to another theory of how to find these missing Lego. this time, let's take the photographs that we have and reconstruct what was in the night on November 14th. Remember, that's the moment we lost the Lego.
Yeah.
And this time, we're going to combine it with two more things. First, from corporate, I got the point of sale records from the Salem store from 2023 to 2024. And secondly, from Crystal Gorman, I got her internal records of Brian's inventory of what was sold or not in order to pay him and keep track of prices. Now, before we piece things together, I need to address something. At the beginning of this story, you saw the social post saying this collection was worth $200,000. That's what everyone knows this story as, the $200,000 Lego collection. But sadly, that post was entirely wrong. In Crystal Gorman's inventory, which has a high and low estimate value of these various Lego items, the real estimated value is about $107,000. They give high estimates and low estimates, but that's right there in the middle. And for simplicity, I'll just be using averages and estimates here, but understand that, these numbers are not firm, given that they're unsold Legos. It's just rough possibilities. But the point is, it's worth nowhere near $200,000. And Reckless Ben, the one who made the original video covering this, said that surprised him.
Yeah, this entire time, literally every single person's been telling me there were $200,000. Like, that's how much, you could sell all these sets for.
My original assessment of about $200,000 was going up to his father's house and looking in with all the sets. It was before I'd actually gone through and had set numbers and done an actual
proteins. I know we're going to eat, but I'm so hungry.
You need to fast.
I need something to hold me over for a little bit. Chomps?
You're tempting me with food.
I mean, do you want it? Dude, your fat ass is going to be able to eat everything. Don't worry. I'm not worried about that.
Ass.
I know how you are.
I'm bringing you to a special dining experience.
When we put food in front of you, you fucking slam it no matter what.
Yes, because it's like putting black tar in front of a heroin addict. What are you doing?
I'm going to have a chomp.
Go ahead, indulge.
Would you like one?
No, I'm fine.
Would you like a Quest chip?
I have willpower.
Okay. I need protein.
Evaluation. I looked at it and went based on as things progressed and as I started to delve more into the actual inventory and evaluating it, that number changed. But we put out the press release well in advance of the event itself, so that press release went out before I had those full numbers. So we went, this is a nice even number that will grab attention and bring people into the store. So we went with that.
And to believe that is accurate at the high end. Like, it was one of those things where when she was looking through and going, well, it says this and it says this, like, you don't think even at the high end?
You haven't actually seen the spreadsheet.
No, I haven't.
You might want to cut that part out because he hasn't actually seen the inventory sheet.
The spreadsheet says about from between 85,000 to 120 something thousand. In the midpoint, about 107 or something like that. Of what was inventory. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this has been a really big point of misinformation to clear up, because if we're ever going to find the missing Lego, we need to start with the right number, the right value. It's about $107,000. Now, between 2023 and 2024...
That's a big update.
Yeah.
That's a big update.
The Gormans record sales of about $24,000 of Brian's collection in their inventory tracking list. And of those sales, Brian was entitled to about 65 to 70% of it. He was paid $17,000, which roughly tracks with that. Which means on November 14th, the big night, the remaining amount of Brian's collection that should have been in there is about $82,000. Now, it doesn't take a genius to realize this is a very different number than corporate provided, who found only $2,000 to $5,000 of it linked to Brian. And later they said they only found $13,000 to $15,000 in total Lego Star Wars.
So you're talking maybe $11,000 to $15,000 total Star Wars, and that's all Star Wars inventory in the whole store.
So that's corporate side of the story, but I didn't want to take their word for it. So I went through Crystal's photos myself, which she shared with me, and hired people to go through and hand tag the Star Wars Legos that were in these photos. We looked 200 plus photos, multiple videos, and matched what we saw with Brian's collection. In the end, I ended up with about $21,000 of Legos matching Brian's collection that can be proven to be in the store on the night of November 14th. Now, to state the obvious, that's about 3 to 5 times what corporate estimated, at least on their press release. Now, yes, there are inherent errors in these estimates. Maybe we picked up some Lego that matched Brian's collection, but wasn't Brian's. But even though this is a bigger number than corporate said, I have to admit, even with pretty generous assumptions being made, there's still a huge gap of about $61,000 here that I just couldn't find. But then I learned Brian had made a special side deal with MNR Productions, who had recently purchased some Legos from him. And this is where it starts to get messy. So these are the pictures that M&R Productions sent me, looking at the Lego that Brian sold him. This was stuff reportedly in storage, and it's interesting because of an early inventory list, which had a column called Location that Crystal used. And it listed a lot of the Star Wars items as being located in what they called storage. Now, previously, I was told that all of the stuff in storage was put back in the store, but there's a bunch that's on this list that I can't find in the store that seem to appear in these pictures. Now, I've been assured, by the way, that most of these Legos were not part of the inventory spreadsheet. They were never given to Bricks and Minifigs. This is a separate part of the collection, but I did a check, and 100% of the items that match the Brian collection inventory just so happened to be listed with a location of storage. So this starts to make things incredibly fuzzy, and I'm inclined to believe that a lot of these are part of that same inventory list. Now, if we take that value of the side deal, that's about $10,000 to $20,000 that's not actually missing. Now, it was at this point I started looking more at the point of sales records. I realized maybe we could find some of this missing Lego there too. So this is from the Salem internal store records. Like, I guess this is what is entered when someone does a sale, and it's everything from September 2023 to November 2024 of Star Wars anything. And by the way, before we continue, yes, this was all a lot of work. If you want to, please support us on Patreon. That's how this show gets made. But anyways, according to those records, about $51,000 in sales went through during this time period in a way that matched Brian Mansell's collection. Now, that really worried me because Crystal's inventory list showed only $24,000 in sales for Brian, and Brian was only paid for that amount. But suddenly, I remembered back to a time when I spoke to Crystal, and I asked how much was sold prior to the takeover.
Which is something similar from what you told me, Crystal.
Yeah.
You told me, hey, it was about 50-something thousand.
Yeah.
But Brian was only paid $17,000.
Okay.
And it should have been about double that. And I'm just trying to make sense of that, given that everyone's...
Well, I'm sorry, but could you address this picture? Breaking NEF evidence for the Lego case resurfaces?
It's just...
Wait, that's...
It's a picture from Memento.
I know where that's... Well, I don't know if it's from Memento. It kind of feels like it's the victim who is
suffering
writing,
a traumatic brain injury.
And is trying to remind himself who is trustworthy in his life and who's not.
All right. Okay.
And kind of feels like you. And this is. Wait a minute. This is the shirt you're wearing right now.
Yeah, this is a picture from this very stream, actually.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God.
I see.
How far does the rabbit hole go?
Accusing each other of theft right now. You understand?
I mean, without seeing any of those records, without seeing those individual tickets,
someone
I
stole
can't
something.
answer that any better.
Okay, this is kind of a problem. The math ain't math in here. 65 to 70% of 50,000
I'm
is
a
almost
numbers
double
guy.
what we
I'm
believe
looking
Brian
at
was
the
paid.
number.
And digging into the details, it turns out a lot of these sales come from what Crystal's spreadsheet actually categorizes as layaways, meaning they were marked as having been sold, but layaways are when someone puts a down payment on an item and later pays it off. But the problem was there were a lot of these, worth about $20,000 in layaway. And that felt a little strange to me. And because of that, I asked Josh Johnson, the incoming owner, and he responded, quote, "There were 2 to 3 items on layaway when they took over."
So on the list of on the inventory list, do you know about how many layaways?
I haven't gone through and done a count, but I know it was vastly more than 2 to 3.
Is about 98.
That makes sense.
What?
So there were about $15,000 to $25,000 worth of sets on layaway.
Okay.
That's just the part that's surprising. That's the part that I can't get my head around. I go, how could, let me just be really honest. I don't believe there was that much layaway. I don't know. I don't know how that's possible. How could there be that much layaway? I don't know. It's like
Uh-oh.
It's like I don't believe because I would.
He doesn't believe the commies either now. The flip, the script has been
Another
flipped.
Neff family besmirched by communists. Interesting.
I'm just saying.
Interesting. Seems to be a trend.
I still trust the commies.
Seems to be a trend.
At most, they are bad at business.
Redheads footing the bill for progress. First, you took us out of all the Disney movies. Now you're blaming us for robbing Lego sets.
That's a grievance?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
I feel like that's not something that we'll see. We'll see where this goes. Okay. Yeah, cops are coming for Will. I already called him earlier. Also, someone in the chat asked, "Have we played Charlie Kirk yet?" We have not today because we haven't had a hype train yet. You already know how it goes. If you like the Piker Broadcasting Service, the People's Broadcasting Service, and you want to support independent media, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for Sam or gift subs for others who can't.
Or you can just save all of that for the stream later. On my stream, I'm going to be needing to pay attorneys for the horrible besmirchment my name is taken.
Besmirchment. You're gonna launch a defamation suit.
Yeah.
Sent to where to run. Thank you for the 20 bones, by the way.
Okay,
I said, you already know if you get to hype level, if we unlock a hype train and get to level 10, we play a different version of a Charlie Kirk.
We could just hold on to the money for later.
Or you could just use it.
Not use it right now. It's okay.
And support independent media. Thank you, War Damn Eagle brother. Coming to your conference real soon. Another Muslim socialist mayor if the Knicks win in 5. So get excited for that.
That's right.
That's definitely Caroline, right?
Oh, God.
I was talking to some people about bricks and minifigs. They go, yeah, there's some layaway. There's not that much layaway. I talked to people who were neutral, kind of on corporate side, but also people who were just normal bricks and minifigs people. They say there's not that much layaway. Help me understand why there's $20,000 worth of layaway here.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely. If you talk to other bricks and minifigs locations, layaway is extremely rare. I think outside of the
you eat your own damn
Brian's
cookies
collection.
in your own damn room.
I see how it is.
I thought you were fasting.
No, I am. I just wanted to hold one.
Oh, okay. You wanted to feel it? You want to feel the texture? We can't see. Calm down, chat. Here.
Okay, good. I'm not crazy here. So then why was there so much layaway there?
No. Absolutely not. Outside of Brian's collection, I think at the time we maybe had 2 used sets on layaway outside of his collection. Okay. It was not a common thing traditionally. I don't know that we'd ever done layaway before the collection came in.
Is there a hype train? Why is it not doing a hype train? It's not. It's not even triggering a hype train.
We at the Will Neff broadcast do have hype trains.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not. Rewind. You missed some. You ignored every hype train yelling at chat. I didn't realize we did hype trains before.
That's so funny.
Wait, the hype train is broken. It's not getting off the station. Happens too often. Well, not if I didn't see it. You know? Why hasn't it triggered a hype train?
Well, I think the old McNeff stole the train.
Yeah, bandit. This is what happens when you bring in real bandits.
McNeff family train thieves.
With Brian's collection, it was a little bit different because so much of this collection were new in box.
What is this? Did the smear campaign work? What smear campaign? What is this even? What am I even looking at? I'm a numbers guy. It says, oh, these are my numbers. I'm a numbers guy, and January 2026, peak viewers 67,000, and February average viewers 35,000. What is this? I don't even understand what this is. Are you saying that like the average viewership went down since January, so the smear campaign worked? Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, those peaks are from bots. Those aren't real. Yeah, interest in the Iran war has diminished since then.
But what about the Legos?
But I don't know what but this shows you need to go the fuck outside. I'm confused what the chatter was trying to say.
I don't know.
They literally, Hasan, you haven't made 9 videos on Legos, get on it? Okay, I don't know why I don't know what we're supposed to be gathering from this.
Legos.
Okay.
All in one place, reasonably priced.
Now we're rewinding.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting distracted.
Layaway.
Why
He said
there's
he doesn't believe that there's
$20,000 worth of
layaway.
layaway here.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely, if you talk to other Bricks and Minifigs locations, layaway is extremely rare. I think outside of the Brian's collection, I don't
Okay, good. I'm not crazy here. So then why was there so much layaway there?
No, absolutely not. Outside of Brian's collection, I think at the time we maybe had 2 used sets on layaway outside of his collection.
Okay.
It was not a common thing traditionally. I don't know that we'd ever done layaway before the collection came in. With Brian,
They are looking real guilty now.
You
They are looking real guilty
You
now.
just want to cast doubt on
Where did the smiles
the
go?
infallible commies. Okay, I see it. Oh, take the blame away from the Neff family dynasty.
All right.
A dynasty built on theft and lies.
this collection, it was a little bit different because so much of this collection were new in box, all in one place, reasonably priced.
Right.
And a lot of the harder to find items. And so customers would come in and put, I'm gonna guess probably half of those layaway items were not gonna be sold to the person who took them on layaway. Because we had several that would put them on layaway and then change their mind. So this was something like, somebody would come in and want 10 different sets, but only be able to buy 1. Can I put the rest of those on layaway so you don't sell them? I'll pay $10 to put these sets on layaway. Traditionally with layaway, we would ask for 10% down. They'd have 30 days to make their next payment, or we'd refund the layaway amount and then put it back on the shelf. Because this collection was...
Bro, who the fuck is like buying Legos on?
Wait, they would okay, chat. As I understand it, you don't refund layaway amounts. That's not the point of the down payment on layaway. The down payment on layaway.
Also, who's desperate enough to purchase Legos on layaway? They're like, I really need to get these
No, I mean, a lot of
Legos.
people buy stuff on layaway. That's not unusual. What is unusual is you putting it on layaway and then getting refunded the amount. Because the idea is you are removing it from the populace to be able to be purchased.
Yeah.
And so you put that amount down in good faith, and if you default on it, they keep that amount, I thought.
Yeah, they're fucking buying Legos on Klarna.
Collection it was, and I wanted to give these people the opportunity to, to get these sets. We were a lot more generous with how long and the amount of payments that people could make towards the layaway. So a lot of these, we had several of them. I think one of the Ewok villages, we put on layaway 4 different times, and then it came off of layaway and back on layaway and then off and then sold. So a lot of these would have gone on and off of layaway and then back out on the shelf, just depending on the person who was putting it on layaway. That was completely unique to this collection.
So, look, I'll be honest, I don't trust Josh Johnson, but something is weird here. So, a lot of these are, look at this. It says POS final sale price, but it's listed as a layaway, but it's sold for $5.99.
Yeah.
Because it matches with the store sale price.
Okay.
So, were they on layaway? Were they accidentally marked layaway on the spreadsheet? What's going on there?
I mean, without seeing the actual sales ticket and seeing what else, what items were sold together, what else was sold with it, I can't actually see the sales ticket. We had several layaway items in which customers were putting multiple things on layaway, paying for most of one item, and then, or they were buying, 8 different things together, and then putting all of them on layaway and making payments on multiple items at the same time.
That's bullshit. I'm sorry, there is no fucking shot a Lego store would allow one customer to put 8 Lego sets on layaway at the same time. there's no chance.
What if
they
they're
were
too
doing
good?
That.
What if
there's no chance?
What if they're too nice and they believe the person?
That's crazy. That's bullshit. There's
Wow.
no way.
I think you're besmirching the reputation of good commies.
8 sets?
Yeah, they were too
That's like
good.
half their inventory that they're putting
They were too
off
nice.
the shelves.
Kind of feels like they were too nice.
I mean, that's crazy.
I didn't realize.
I don't buy that.
I didn't realize we were punishing people for being too kind as business owners.
I don't think that they. I don't think that they stole anything, but there's obviously some like accounting error or clerical error, because if someone could just walk into your store and go that, I'll give you $80. I'll be back in 10 weeks. There's no shot. There's no shot.
Maybe they're communists, so they don't understand how to run a business.
Wait a minute. That tracks.
Have you thought about that? They're not capitalists, so they don't understand how to run a successful business.
Oh my God.
And they were like, of course we'll put this off the
we'll
shelf.
put half the store in the back room for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm going.
Our Ewok Village was one of those cases. At some point, he had, I think, like 8 or 9 different items on layaway. So they'd come in and make a payment for a bulk payment. You know, I've got 800
Remember the
things
U-Haul.
on layaway. I'm gonna make $100 on my payment. One customer in particular would do that, and then when he'd gotten up high enough to pay for one set, we'd pull that set out, mark it as sold. So without seeing the actual tickets and my layaway records, I cannot answer a question.
But why wouldn't they just do one set at a time?
I have no idea.
If they literally took the combined payment of 8 and had him just purchase one set and remove the down payment from the rest, why wouldn't they just make customers? Oh, they're communists. They don't know.
Yeah, or remember the U-Haul. That was suspicious when they said there was no U-Haul.
Do we need to help commies with? I think we need to help commies.
I don't understand what's going on anymore. I'm confused.
You're low on protein.
Well, yeah, but the layaway thing bricked my brain a little bit.
Any clearer than that?
But I even found more than that in this POS data.
Oh,
I
no.
also found about $10,000 in sales that matched Brian's collection that were not marked as sold under this inventory spreadsheet.
The McNeffs are being unbesmirched right now, and the commies are falling under the gun.
I just feel like there's.
Do you have anything you'd like to say for your people?
I think
I spoke for mine.
I think that they were so nice that they were giving it away for free.
I see.
Yeah, they were just too
they're
kind.
so nice that they were stealing from someone else. Communism's great until you run out of someone else's money.
I have it on
That's
good
what
authority.
they say.
Okay, here's what actually happened. Orphan child. Burning orphanage.
Oh my God.
The commies saved the child from the burning orphanage.
Wow.
He's got 3rd-degree burns. He might not make it. He says, I want that Lego Star Wars set on layaway.
Oh, it was a make-a-wish.
I only have
It was
10
a
bands.
make-a-wish.
I only have $10.
Oh my God.
Can you please give it to me?
Context is so important.
And these guys were like, of course we don't want to harm this other customer.
Now I feel terrible.
But since you're a dying orphan in a burned orphanage,
right?
It feels apt that we would give you this Lego set. Do you want? Yeah, baby shoes never worn. Lego set never played. Saddest.
I really shouldn't give these Lego sets away, but I'm going to.
Saddest short story in the English language.
They call them. They call him Scorched Scott, little boy, burnt in a fire. Had to give him Lego sets.
Yeah.
Some of our things that were not found were explained by the POS system because they were found in the POS system as being sold. So like they weren't marked on the spreadsheet, but they were marked as sold via the POS system. And this is about $10,000 worth of Lego that basically were matched.
She just said, huh.
See, and I don't know. Take anything happening from, let's see, sorry, I'm trying to do
She's
math
getting flush.
here. I don't know without being able to see all of the records. There is a possibility that consignments were ended when I wasn't at work, and I just didn't go through and pull them up. They didn't get put in the consignment ticket. I hadn't gone through those consignments in a couple of months. I hadn't gone through the inventory.
Well, that's theft.
Not by her hand, though.
No, it is. She's saying that she sold it and then didn't assign the consignment amount to the person who did consignment. That is...
No, she's saying she wasn't the one who was making the final, she wasn't at the store. She's saying someone else might have.
Is that what she said?
I think so.
I thought she said she just didn't log the consignment element of it. Like she sold
she's saying
the set.
an employer. She's saying a possibility is that an employee sold it, and she didn't.
Yeah, that's theft.
Yeah.
Ignorance of the law is not defense of it.
I'm just saying she didn't know. So maybe
Wait, what?
Maybe the employee was another Neff brother.
No, dude, not the Neffs again. Okay.
Back room in a couple of months. So it is entirely possible there were sales that were finished that I never clocked as being finished. I don't know that without going through and actually seeing it.
But you're saying it's possible stuff was sold, not updated on this inventory list.
It's entirely possible that stuff did not get updated on my spreadsheet. I'm not going to sit here and claim it's not possible. It's possible I missed things.
So where does this leave us? I know some people are jumping to conclusions here, but I must remind you that on the night of November 14th, 2024, Crystal Gorman was concerned about Brian
No,
getting...
she's saying she didn't catch up on her accounting. So they did
Oh,
pay
before
out.
she was forced out.
Yeah, so she's saying like they obviously did the payouts if they did finalize the sales, but it's not reflected on the spreadsheet.
Okay. I'm sorry, there's so much
You were just so
back
quick.
and forth.
Yeah, you should be sorry. You were so quick to blame the commies.
Listen,
Kind of pulled
do
the
you
trigger.
remember the U-Haul?
Kind of pulled the trigger fast on that.
Guys, remember the U-Haul?
Kind of pulled the trigger like you are one of the
I'm just doing a little
Neff.
back and forth. I'm just doing a little back and forth.
Yeah, kind of unnecessarily
For the sake of the
hostile.
content.
It's just interesting.
paid or not getting paid.
Looking like a Pinkerton over here.
Not been paid his percentage yet.
Oh.
And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay.
Oh.
Okay. So Crystal, ultimately, that's a business thing and not necessarily yours. Brandon will take, it's taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment.
So obviously, one could see that and say she was intending to reconcile with Brian, maybe she hadn't gotten around to it, and of course, corporate will probably take a more cynical view of what she's doing by printing these receipts. But the point is, regardless of whose side you're on, I think we can all agree, there's a lot of weird stuff here on all sides, abnormal stuff. Sure.
I will be honest, I think this is like regular small business in a small town shit.
Yes. Yes.
Like you bust open the hood and look under like the average small business that is like a franchise or whatever under a much larger business, and you look at their accounting and you know the things that they're doing, and it's like probably is happening all the fucking time.
I mean, can I be honest?
What?
If I worked in a Lego store,
You'd be
I would go to
stealing
work.
Legos?
No.
Well, I
was gonna say I'd go to work.
After all, so
No, I was gonna say I would go to work torched every day.
What do you mean?
I'd be absolutely stoned out of my gourd building
yeah.
Legos at the desk.
In a fucking
man.
small town too. You're just like there's nothing else going
My
on.
spreadsheets would look really bad.
Maybe you can chalk some of this up to bad record keeping between the U-Haul, the layaways, the $20,000 in Lego sets that corporate called $2,000 to $5,000 that was there that night, the off-book deals. But even if we can't like fully know 100%, you know, what these weird things were about, I think they tell a story of what actually happened to Brian's collection. In a way, multiple people, I
so
think...
they all fucked them, piece by piece. Like, some of it was stolen and placed in a U-Haul van. Some of it was just like sold and never paid off.
It's like the end of Knives Out.
It turns out everyone
fucking guilty.
Everyone is involved, including the commies.
Wow. Well, I think the commies were probably just ripped out of their skull, it sounds like. They were probably stoned and just really bad at spreadsheets.
What the fuck?
You're kind of right, kind of wrong. The Gormans were correct that more of that collection was there that night of the takeover than previously thought. But corporate also alleged that some of it was offsite, and that appears to be partly true, although some of that is disputed, and it looks like, you know, way more of the collection was sold and layawayed than Brian was paid for. But all in all, there's a lot less missing than many people think, especially if you're starting
Dude, what the fuck were they thinking though? They're just like selling off someone else's merchandise without ever, you know, they're like, he'll die. He'll die. No one will come to collect. This guy looks sickly.
Well,
we'll just sell off his Legos. Like the fuck?
I don't know, man. I think Coffee's gonna tell us.
All right, let's see.
Is $200,000. I estimated, and I must emphasize, estimated with bad records, that there's only about $10,000 to $20,000 in Lego that isn't explained by one of these sources. This isn't to say Brian's been fully compensated. Much of this Brian wasn't paid for that I know of. So I estimate he's still out about $50,000 to $83,000 for Lego he wasn't compensated for. And I think honestly that's something that Bricks and Minifigs obviously should handle and make right. Regardless of what a franchisee does, the new one, the old one, the company behind it must stand behind their product, their service, and I can't imagine a better example of a company doing the opposite. Unfortunately, Bricks and Minifigs has chosen to deflect and dodge responsibility at most opportunities and created a really awful customer experience that has snowballed into this crazy series of events. But instead of taking accountability for that, they've taken an aggressive legal strategy, which I told them personally was a horrible idea.
By the way, do you know who has the opportunity to have some of the most inexpensive marketing in history on this?
What, Lego Corporation?
Exactly. If I was Mad Men, you know, marketing genius, to go make a one-of-one, like, serialized set and give it to them and be like, we're gonna auction this off or something, or give them product, because then Lego comes out smelling like a daisy, where they're like, we protect our collectors, we love our community, here's a gift directly from Lego.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what the relationship is between Lego and Bricks and Minifigs in general.
And then they should bring back Bionicle.
Okay, that seems like a thing that you...
Whoa, I mean,
personally,
you disagree?
You just kind of added that on.
It's a double win.
Yeah.
As of writing this, Brian Mansell is being sued for $1.3 million as part of a legal campaign against him and Reckless Ben and any of the associates. Remember, Brian is the same guy who lost all these Legos at Bricks and Minifigs store. And I told the CEO and COO that's ridiculous and they should drop this. Look, mistakes have been made by plenty of people here, but there's a lot more people who have inflicted self-owns, the likes of which we've rarely seen, by just choosing the worst possible path at every fork in the road, no pun intended. But the best path to making things right, in my view, is by just making Brian whole and moving on. Drop the aggressive legal strategy. You are a Lego store at the end of the day. You are supposed to be about fun, not about a rerun of Suits. But anyways, that's my investigation. Those are my closing thoughts. And I knew I wanted to approach everyone involved in this whole story with my results and see what they thought to close things out. Does all that make sense?
Someone said, just like Breaking Bad, this story wouldn't exist if he had Medicare for all. True, he would have never had to sell his Lego set.
It's real.
That's crazy.
It's real.
So I guess it's good that we don't have Medicare for all, is what you're saying, right, Chatter? So that, you know, all these cool and wonderful heist stories and criminal enterprise, these are the types of things that take place in America, on American soil.
Wow.
Yeah. It makes us grind harder.
Sense to you, because I'm showing everyone in this story and saying, hey,
the thing
are
that
any of these numbers blowing your mind, or is any of this crazy to you?
No, it's not crazy. But what's crazy, again, like all the photo evidence that both sides have points to there being, sure, $20,000 worth of Lego of Star Wars Lego in the store that night, right? I don't know, man. I'm just like, can people understand maybe why there was some confusion and why there was some hesitation when somebody comes in and says, hey, you owe me $60,000 worth of product and Lego, and we go, we don't even know who you are. Like, yeah, Kristen mentioned something about consignment on her way out the door. And we go, sure, we'll get that figured out. But then the guy just walks in and demands $60,000 worth of Lego? Like, what am I supposed to do other than say, cool, show me, can you show me the proof?
The problem is there's so much of a dispute on the timeline, and this is what's going to make this story so hard to tell, is like, they say, you guys are unreasonable. They tried, and eventually they gave up.
But they say they tried it. They were basically met with like unreasonable requests, things like that. So verification, documentation, is that unreasonable? Do you think?
Didn't they show proof?
I thought. Well, I think they would say they provided the documentation, and you guys say you need more documentation. So I mean, that's kind of the right. A spread, like I understand, a spreadsheet and a contract are a good start. Yeah. Yeah, but we never got that. That was never sent to us at corporate, by the way. Y'all do have the spreadsheet though, yeah? That was shared online, but months after we asked for it. It says I'm so confused. It says I'm on the file right now. It says storage used, owned by BAM Franchising Inc. Owner Salem.or bricksandminifigs.com. What are you looking at? It says owner Salem.or at bricksandminifigs.com. That's you guys. It says owned by BAM Franchising Inc. It says created September 6th, 2024. Oh. When I look at it, this is the Mansell list, I believe. Oh. So this would have been created under we have the McNaffs. Y'all definitely have this. Y'all have access to this. Well, I had no idea. Oh no!
Oh, fucking God. So
McNaffs.
So regardless of what kind of accounting error or clerical error that took place, it's very clear that they had sufficient evidence to look back at to figure out whether or not this dude had some Legos that he was owed, his own Legos, and these motherfuckers said no. You don't have evidence.
He got McFucked.
Perhaps assuming that the other side would not have anything beyond. By the way, it's not on the person who did the consignment to offer sufficient evidence. This is their back end stuff, right? And clearly they had it. They had the information on the back end. So they just did not want to fucking give this guy back his shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this is the first that anybody has shown me that a spreadsheet was created using bricks and all of this stuff was archived. This is the first I've seen that this spreadsheet was created by Crystal. And we don't know how accurate it is, how up to date it was. We don't know a lot of those such things. And understand, I appreciate you sharing this with us because we had no idea. Again, you don't know what you don't know. And
I appreciate you sharing this with us. Dog,
Brother.
It's your business email.
Brother.
What do you mean? It's your store. It's your business email.
Crazy.
This makes no sense. Also, they provided sufficient proof of the consignment contract. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all they needed to do on their end. I'm talking about the original owner of the Lego set. That's crazy.
You can't, we don't know everything. And we don't go, looking in every nook and cranny everywhere. We just don't know some of those things. So if that's there, we can now have our team go look for that.
When it comes right down to it, they're going to have to make a judgment call and say, who's telling the truth? The people who were taking all the pictures and say, and we couldn't take pictures of everything the night of, but we're being honest consistently, and the people who are saying, there was $5,000 there. Really? That makes no sense. We've got the evidence, and yes, there's a discrepancy. We acknowledge we did not take pictures of everything, but does that mean that the discrepancy is, and therefore these missing, percentage, whatever that would be, 5%, is some magical other place? Or it was sitting there in the store and we didn't get pictures of it?
If I messed up,
explanation.
If I messed up on my record keeping, I will take accountability for that. Mm-hmm. It's possible. If my staff didn't draw attention that consignments had left out, so I'd move them to the thing. Any of that, I will take accountability to that.
She seems honest.
I am more than willing to do that.
A lot more than I could say about the dastardly Neffs.
Well, McNaffs.
Dastardly Neff family gingers who have very peculiar,
hard R on there,
villainous type of facial hair choice. Sported most commonly by villains.
Okay.
Just saying.
I need BAM to show me those tickets.
As they promised to do.
I will sit down with Brian and talk this over and figure out what we missed and where it was missed and how it was missed and make that right with him.
I mean, that's new information no one's ever found out, so that's like awesome. They're gonna lose hundreds of millions of dollars because of their own wrongdoing. They're literally gonna destroy their entire company because they're this stubborn over maybe $20,000 worth of Lego.
Sure, I'll be keeping you in the loop with what
Nice. I'm excited. This was good work. My other final thoughts is, dude, you solved it, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, Brandon Best and Josh Johnson got fired. Bricks and Minifigs is suing Brian Menzel and Reckless Ben for over $1.3 million in damages.
Damn.
Which is,
crazy.
A restraining order is in effect against Reckless Ben to prevent him from speaking about Bricks and Minifigs. Also, the court system immediately siding with the corporation here.
Yeah.
Classic.
But, pause, Bricks and Minifigs will never recover.
I don't know. It depends on how, have you talked to your nieces?
Well, I mean, they haven't watched the Reckless Ben videos.
I know,
They're
but when
too
they,
young.
yeah, I know, but when they show up and say, Uncle Neff.
No.
Dastardly.
I couldn't.
The dastardly Uncle Neff, can we go to the Bricks and Minis store?
I couldn't.
Can we go to the Bricks and Minifigs store?
Unless I get a friends and family discount from the
Yeah. You're going there. You're trotting your ass down to the Lego store, and you're purchasing as many packs as you can.
Okay.
Just saying. The Gormans are suing Bricks and Minifigs. The lawsuit claims Brian's collection had an original aggregate value of around $250,000.
Wow. That's it. Whoa, what the fuck is that? Really?
Yeah, you didn't notice? Yeah, bro, that's how it is. Yeah.
Oh, it's so cozy.
I know. It was crazy. What the fuck is happening out there? New York 13 candidates, Adriana Esbayat and Daria Elisa Avila Chevalier, had a testy back and forth over the question of abolishing ICE and immigration policy.
Do you believe that ICE needs to be replaced with another agency, meaning who should handle matters of immigration?
Now, this is deeply personal to me, Dan, because I'm a kid that came here on a visitor's visa, overstayed my visa, had to go back to the DR to get my green card, became a green card holder, a citizen, a voter, and now I'm a member of Congress. This is deeply personal to me. We need to take the money back from ICE that Trump gave it. We need to take the money that the Republicans gave to ICE. We need to take it back. We need to take it back, and we need to.
He's like, I gave the money. I want it back now. Dude, it's so funny. Anytime there's like an actual progressive challenger, these guys all become communists, dude. God, the Democratic Party, I have so much disdain and so much anger in my heart for establishment Democrats. As soon as there's a left flank challenger, all these guys start talking about, abolish ICE, punish ICE, criminalize being an ICE agent. It's like, bro, where was this energy when you were, voting to give them $7 billion of funding? I hate this shit so much. Yeah. Okay. What is that?
Espresso martini.
Nice. No, I'm good. Definitely good.
To take a deep dive.
Yeah, Diane DeGette is doing this in Denver as well. I know. As soon as these guys get outflanked by a viable left flank opponent, an ideological opponent that could win, they turn around and they start talking a big game about how radical they truly are. It's just that in moments that mattered, they weren't there. What is this?
That you support a universal single-payer health system. Is that still your position?
Look, I grew up on Medicaid, and so I know how important it is for us to be able to have affordable, accessible health care. I think that we need to be pushing for a public option, and we also need to be restoring the cuts to Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act that Donald Trump has inflicted on the people of this district. We need to be
with respect, sir, that's a lot of words, and none of them are an answer to the question. You said earlier in this campaign...
Oh, my God. Absolute comstering and dumpstering.
You support a universal single-payer health system. Is that still your position?
We need to be looking for actionable solutions. And right now, Donald Trump and Gabe Evans have cut Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act.
What should voters discern from the fact that you won't answer a question about your own position earlier in this campaign? You said you supported universal single-payer. Do you still support that?
Like I said, we need actionable solutions.
Bro, Jesus Christ, dude. All right, let's go back to Daria Lisa cooking Adriano Espaillat.
And discuss this whole matter. It's not just about unmasking ICE. I support that. It's not about sensitive locations. That's my bill. It's not about just body camera. That's also my bill. By the way, both of them were implemented administratively by the Biden administration. It is about taking the money back. $170 billion that the Republicans, I voted against that the Republicans and Trump gave ICE so that we could now take that money and
Yeah, he's like $170 billion. You know, many of those billions I also signed off on.
Bring it back to Medicaid, food stamps, and NYCHA.
I used to be a liberal like you, Hasan, but now after witnessing the events of the past few weeks, like Belfast and Carmelo Anthony, I'm starting to change my mind. Really? You saw what? Two totally separate instances of, I think the event in Belfast is like murder, right? Both of them are stabbings. And you were like, wow, I think all black people should be cordoned off of society. Like, what do you mean? Also, I'm not a liberal anyway. But that's wild. You're like, yeah, I saw two separate black people in entirely different parts of the world get charged with murder, and I decided that what you want to punish all black people? What are you, stupid? Just more reason not to like them. Just saying, doesn't feel like you're a liberal at all, actually, because you know this tracks with being a dipshit. Yeah, dude, I saw you know, a white guy engage in pedophilia. Now I think we should just cordon them off of society and arrest all of them, prosecute all of them. That's an insane statement, right? You understand why that would be stupid. I never said that. Okay. Thank you for being the open-minded.
I understand. I heard what you said. We're going to get to that in an issue.
What do the actions of random people engaging in heinous crimes in two separate parts of the world have to say about the entire race that you are now using as an example to admonish an entire race with? The connective tissue between these incidents is that both of the perpetrators were black. And the connective tissue for you is that enough is reason alone. Those two incidents is reason alone for you to what? Hate them, as you said? You think this is a good argument? Yeah. I like that you were looking for more reasons to hate them, as you said, implying that you already hated them. You're actively looking for confirmation bias to justify your perspective. What? Yeah. Hold on. Boom. What? Yeah. I'm gonna dual stream for a second so that we can make the transition happen. I hope that he's still logged on to my. Okay. What's wrong? What's going on? We're not using the. Yeah, we shouldn't use live. There's too many people. Too many actors. Did you spill a drink on my bed?
What?
No, that was Will.
I didn't even. What?
That's crazy.
I'm being framed.
Dude, all day, dude. The dastardly Neffs.
The Neffs?
Yeah.
Mick Neffs.
Oh.
Yeah, Mick Neff. Yeah, I don't know.
One of the dastardly Neffs? What are the dastardly
No, the dastardly Kwans is a whole separate issue. The Kwan dynasty. Yeah. I can't believe March just did that, by the way. He didn't even skip a beat. He just straight up insta slander. That's crazy. He really is. He really is, dude. Anything to keep up the habit. You see that? Anything to keep up the habit. March comes in here with an espresso martini in hand, dumps it on my bed. I see that there's like a stain on my bed. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Did you dump alcohol on my bed? Instantly, frame one, he goes, oh no, that was Neff. That was Will Neff.
In a question later
But
on.
I have another direct comment to that. He says that he is pro-abolishing ICE, but has not signed on to the bill that is pushing for that, the Melt ICE Act. And so to me, it actually hurts me to hear that he is someone who has felt the impact of immigration enforcement and yet refused to show up for my friend Mahmoud Khalil when he was being detained and kidnapped by ICE agents, and said that he trusted Trump's DOJ. Trump's DOJ was actively violating his rights,
I'm up against
and
the
then
commercial break.
denied Noor, his wife, an opportunity to speak to him.
I'm up against a commercial break, but will you sign on to the Melt Ice Act?
Yes, I congratulate Daria Lisa for helping the Khalil family. But
Yeah, that was your constituent, big dog. You mean you congratulate Daria Lisa for helping the Mahmoud Khalil family? You weren't there though when it mattered. On Israel, oh, I hope she cooked his ass on this. This is the strongest one.
People since the October 7th attacks, you're a yes.
Yes.
Do you believe that it was?
It's a horrific situation in Gaza. Unimaginable. Men, women, and children have been killed. Innocent people, and whoever perpetrated that action should be held to the highest standard.
Whoever, I won't name the country. It's a country out there that might have done it. Okay? Just some random people got together and they may or may not have done horrifying crimes, horrible crimes. Whoever, we're still looking for who might have done it. A real whodunit situation. Yeah, who done it?
Of accountability is horrific, and there are international entities that, like the United Nations and the
yeah, it was New Jersey all along. It wasn't just the size of New Jersey; it was New Jersey all along. Israel,
international court that have established what it is.
The United Nations has called it a genocide. And so you just referenced the question: do you believe Israel has committed genocide?
APAC Adriano. Anyway, New Jersey High.
The fact of the matter is, Dan, that the voters that elected me haven't trusted me. They haven't trusted me.
Yeah, whenever they start the conversation with the situation in Gaza is tragic, just know that it's an APAC script. Okay. Well, I can go live, but it'll just be this stream, like right here, and I don't want to flip it yet because. I don't want to flip it to the camera because we don't want to like dox our location.
Oh yeah.
That's not okay. I mean, I'm saying when we go downstairs and shit, you know what I mean, and get in a car. I mean, we can. Yeah, I think I'll just. What I was thinking is I just keep going until we wait for Alvin, and then. Okay. I don't have to. I can start your live stream right now. All right.
They're having thousands of people and thousands of immigrants.
Oh my God! Everyone in the stream is such a goddamn baby, guys. We're literally trying to coordinate the logistics so we can live stream. Okay? You don't understand anything. We're not fighting. You're an idiot. You literally shut the up. We are trying to coordinate the logistics of a stream. We have a guest coming, and we also don't want to dox our location. So we are trying to set it up so that we can make a perfect transition. But of course, what the f do I know? I'm only a professional live broadcaster for almost half a decade at this point.
Continue to come to my district and get service, whether they are avoiding deportation, family reunifications, some even to get a humanitarian visa so we can save their lives through a life-saving operation.
Gotta get to a commercial
My office
break.
does that every single.
I wasn't even chatting, but I'm hurt by you yelling at us. Okay, well then it's not for you. If you are not chatting, then my comments are not for you.
Get to a commercial break, but on the Melt Act, are you signing on?
This is a violent fight for people who don't leave their house. Yeah.
Yes, I've been the leading advocate and the leading voice against ICE.
So yes on that act.
Yes,
okay.
Of
Tip of a hat, these guys turn into these woke warriors. At the tip of a hat, all of a sudden, woke fucking warriors, dude.
Elon Musk has become the world's first.
I do want to watch I can't believe this motherfucker's a trillionaire now. I want to watch the Moist Critical thing, but I obviously can't because I don't have enough time. Is the full Israel debate segment for you?
Congressional district
let's
candidates are
go.
going to talk about U.S. relations with Israel right now, which have really become a driving force for many as they head to the polls, and it's really becoming a dividing topic within the Democratic Party. So, Mr. Espaillat, do you support the United States continuing to send weapons and military funding to Israel?
I believe very strongly that what's happened in Gaza is really horrific.
Oh my God.
And that those that have perpetrated the death of children and women and seniors must be held accountable. Furthermore, I think that we cannot have a path to peace with the presence of Benjamin Netanyahu as an obstructionist to peace.
I mean, the question was, do you support the United States continuing to send weapons and military funding?
I think that we must have a path to peace. And the main goal, of course, is peace in the region. Far too many Palestinians have been killed and Israelis have been killed. And whoever has engaged in those kinds of horrific actions should be held accountable. And I will continue to fight to make sure that we have a pathway to peace, to ensure that we have a full discussions about weapons, about peace in the region, a two-state solution, which I support, non-expansion of the settlements, which I don't support them, and other measures that will lead to lasting peace in the region.
Okay, didn't hear a clear answer there, but Ms. Chevalier, do you support the United States continuing to send weapons and military funding to Israel?
No. And I really believe that we need to stop sending our tax dollars to arm a state that is currently enacting a genocide, a word that my opponent has yet to say. It is deeply important that we recognize that it is the taxpayer money of the American people that is contributing to this continued atrocities. And if we want to talk about accountability to be able to actually create peace, there cannot be peace while American taxpayer dollar is continuing to be used to slaughter civilians. It is abhorrent to me that we continue to invest so much of our money in weapons, in bombs that are slaughtering communities abroad when so many of our people here are suffering from lack of dignified housing, from lack of access to quality food, from lack of access to the social safety nets that make life dignified for so many.
And so you just referenced the question, do you believe Israel has committed genocide on the Palestinian people since the October 7th attacks? You're a yes.
Yes.
Do you believe that it was genocide?
It's a horrific situation in Gaza, unimaginable. Men, women, and children have been killed, innocent people, and whoever perpetrated that action should be held to the highest standard of accountability. It's horrific. And there are international entities that, like the United Nations and the International Court, that have established what it is.
The United Nations has called it a genocide. I want to move on to a section where we're doing, which is personal controversy. Ms. Chevalier, I'm going to begin with you. On several of your past tweets that have resurfaced, or
I like that the standard here, the weight of a refusal to commit to what the United Nations has dictated to be a genocide, a refusal to call it a genocide on television, is weighed against former tweets from Daria Liza, where she was maybe a little too based. Like, AIPAC stooge refuses to call what Israel's doing a genocide, refuses to commit to stopping funds from being transferred to Israel. Okay? And then we move on to your fucking tweets. It's like the standards in the United States of America are so out of whack, dude. Our priorities are so out of order. Our standards are so unbelievably out of whack. Where on the one hand, like, we're like, hey, it says here that you love puppy stranglers and you've continued to give money to puppy stranglers. And on the other hand, you made police feel bad one time with a thing that you said 6 years ago. We're doing both sides. We're offering accountability to both sides, obviously. It's like, in a normal world, someone who has aided and abetted a genocidal nation, who still refuses to call it out, who still refuses to commit to punishing the by their own admission, war crimes at least that this country has committed, should probably be held to a much higher standard. No, it's just so. I'm glad that they're fair and balanced, the media, and I'm glad that the public is fair and balanced in their assessment here, in the weight that they deploy to both of these crimes. One is just a war crime. You know, one is aiding and abetting in a genocide, the crime of all crimes. The other is, and I refuse to acknowledge it, the other is tweets, mean tweets.